TV and do the
Same.
sports announcing.
I did the same thing.
Yeah, and my friends used to get a howl out of it. So anyway, one of the guys on the team goes, I got a guy who could do this. And I was in my t-shirt and jeans. Never did ring announcing before.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, well, I need it. You want to do it? I was like, sure. My wife's like, get out of here. You're not doing that. There's thousands of people. I got in. I did fine. Next thing I was getting calls to do it.
So what do you do now?
Beef battalion chief of the fire department for the last 18 years or so. I've been doing ring announcing for pro boxing, a little bit of mixed martial arts, and also, like the Golden Gloves and amateur shows around. It's like a side business.
Because I miss that stuff a lot.
So you're going into the field, I'm thinking.
I'm still trying to get my foot in the door, yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy.
No, it's not. I'm probably going to do grad school next year and then work.
You gotta think of it as a labor of love, and maybe someday you'll be able to make a living at it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
For me, it's like a hobby, you know.
They don't have their headphones on. Guys, can you put your headphones on?
Just do a quick test.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Check 1 2 3 4.
Welcome to Brooklyn, New York, here at MCU Park in Coney Island. Tom Scavetta bringing you all the coverage here tonight. It's the 2018 Fun City Bowl between New York's bravest and New York's finest. The two teams set to go head-to-head for the 46th straight. Good?
Are we on? No.
We're not on, right? Okay.
Recording. You're recording.
Oh. Welcome to Brooklyn, New York, here at MCU Park in Coney Island. Tom Scavetta bringing you all the coverage here tonight. It's the 2018 Fun City Bowl football game between New York's finest and New York's bravest. The two teams set to go head-to-head tonight for the 46th straight year in this classic rivalry dating back to 1973. A lot at stake as both NYPD and FDNY come into this matchup undefeated in league action, with the winner advancing to the National Public Safety Football League championship game. A great comeback victory last year for New York's bravest, winning 24-21 after trailing by 2 touchdowns late in the second half. FDNY looks to win for the second straight year against NYPD here in Brooklyn. I'm now joined by FDNY's very own Phil Tufano and Mike Shepard. Guys, how's it going?
Pretty good, Tom. Good to be with you. And absolutely right you are. Beautiful day here in Brooklyn. We are just yards away from iconic Coney Island Boardwalk and picking it up on last year's game. Both teams, it came right down to the wire last year. Fire department with a furious comeback, 17 unanswered points to win it in the last moments. And it's going to be more of the same this year. This game is always tight, always close. The intensity is high, and it should be a great one today.
Now, Phil, you played for FDNY for 8 years back in the day. Tell us a little bit about that and the history of this historic rivalry.
Well, believe it or not, Tom, this rivalry began years ago in a bar in Brooklyn when the late coach of the fire department, Robert Pudgy Walsh, who was a lieutenant on our job, told the police who had a team that the fire department could put together a team and beat them. So lo and behold, they faced off in 1973 at Midwood High School. The PD won that first meeting by 1 point, and they've been settling that argument ever since.
And tonight will be the 46th meeting between NYPD and FDNY. NYPD currently leads the series 30-15. And Phil, we were talking earlier, just kind of like an Army-Navy type feel type of series. Very intense, very heated. As I was speaking with the FDNY head coach down on the field just a few moments ago, and looking forward to tonight's matchup here in Coney Island.
Oh, absolutely, and the intensity is always high. When I played in these games, for me it felt like suiting up for the Super Bowl because really, this isn't like playing a game of softball. There's a lot on the line here. These are working guys who are risking injury, and basically they make their living with their bodies. And there's nobody's giving any quarter in this game. You got to fight for every inch, and
Right.
It's been that way from the go, and it's going to be that way tonight. While we have a minute, I want to introduce our third man in the booth, my friend, a former Golden Glove champ, to give us a little salt and pepper in this game, longtime Brooklynite and FDNY firefighter Mike Shepard.
Yeah, how you doing, Chief? Nice to be here tonight, Tom. I'll tell you, it's a hot night tonight, and I hope these players, I hope they don't get overheated because Every one of them wants to play in the game tonight, and they want to finish. They want to finish strong, and they all want to be on top. FD's got the edge, though. They won last year. It was a great game. Came down to a field goal, and it was a little disheartening for PD. They played a great game, but we'll see what happens this year.
Picking up on that, Tom, you got to believe after that late collapse last year that the PD is absolutely chomping at the bit tonight.
Yeah, last year FDNY won 24-21 after NYPD was up by 2 touchdowns. We said 21-7 late in the third quarter, and then James LaMacchia, the game-tying touchdown, and then the eventual game-winning field goal for FDNY. Incredible close game, and these two teams very familiar with each other, both undefeated. Should expect something similar tonight.
Oh, it's always that way. Throughout the history, I mean, the Police, as you said at the outset, they lead the series overall 30-15. But to be very honest, the game could go either way on any given night. Many of those games came down to 1 or 2 plays. And I can assure you it's going to be the same thing tonight. A lot of pomp and circumstance here tonight, Tom. You see the pipe bands coming out now, and kind of the, much like the long gray line at West Point, here we see the long line of blue as the men in blue are lined up to greet their team, the NYPD Finest.
As NYPD's Finest is currently being ushered out by the bagpipes here in Coney Island. And speaking of NYPD, I spoke with their head coach, Ken Shanahan, and their defensive line coach, George Burke, talking about some of the keys to the game. They need to get pressure on FDNY early because they have very explosive wide receivers, Phil.
Oh, absolutely. Ryan Davin's got a receiving core that he really has some chemistry with. The X factor tonight may well be the injuries to the fire department offensive line. They were banged up quite a bit out in California. They sat a lot of the starters the last game. I'm told the practice sessions were good. The guys are ready to go tonight, but they're playing against the biggest line they're going to face this year. The PD is absolutely huge across the defensive front, so that's going to be something we're going to see in how that unfolds.
Absolutely. One of the guys on the defensive line, Pete Lazard, number 25, 9th season out of CW Post, the same college that I went to, playing post football. And, yeah, no, exactly. The key for FDNY is Joe Montgomery and the big hogs up front trying to prevent pressure from NYPD to try to open up that passing game for Davin, like you said, Phil.
Yeah, you know what it is, Tom? One of the big problems the fire department has had over the years that explains the one-sidedness of the series, the fire department men cannot be as big as a policeman. A policeman, the cops are about 5 deep with 300-pounders at each spot on both sides of the ball on the line of scrimmage. Fire department guys cannot be that big and do their jobs. We have guys who are our bigger guys are along the lines of about 250, 260 at the line. Police department have guys well over 300 pounds and in shape with big football backgrounds.
It was standing in the locker room before the teams came out. A lot of big guys in the NYPD locker room, like you said. And, Phil, we talked about how the FDNY, their defensive line actually rotates, and the secondary uses 2 separate groups. And talk about one of the key guys on that defense for FDNY.
Well, FDNY's biggest guy, their most valuable player, Mike McPartland, hung him up this year. But I would say, without question, their biggest hitter and their biggest run stopper is number 54 linebacker Sam Murray. Sam is an absolute stud at the linebacker position, and he's led the team in tackles for several years now. An absolute rough and tumble player, and he's the key on defense. As Sam Murray goes, so goes the fire department. Mike, I think you would agree that it's really not always the size of the dog in the fight, but it's the fight in the dog.
That's it. You beat big. You beat big with speed.
On that note, we're going to step aside, and we will now go over the rosters, and we will come back with kickoff shortly.
PSA 5, quarterback. Midtown North, wide receiver.
PSA 3, running back.
'83rd precinct, running back.
6th Precinct, receiver. PSA 4 NCO, left tackle.
Trained at District 12, Ken McNair, left guard.
107 Precinct, center.
109 Precinct, right guard. Let's go.
D75, right tackle.
40 Precinct, strong safety.
Manhattan Warrants, defensive tackle, NYPD baby.
Transit, ATU, inside backup.
Citywide crime, D-tackle.
Hulk Smash, Patrol Service Bureau, DN.
Queens Warrant Squad, defensive end.
Warrant squad, middle linebacker.
Kevin Healy, free safety, PSNO.
Mustafa Young, defensive back.
Frank Smith, cornerback, 49 Precinct.
Adam Landsberg, defensive back, gun violence. Kevin Shanahan, head coach, Manhattan North Narcotics.
Adam Torres, offensive coordinator, chief of transportation officer.
What do you want me to say? Okay.
Tom, this one has the feel of a heavyweight championship fight. The challenges have been on the field for a while, the NYPD, and the fire department's made them wait, but I think they're about to come out now, and we're going to be getting started pretty soon.
They sure are, Phil. And folks, welcome back to Coney Island here in Brooklyn, New York, MCU Park. It's the 2018 Fun City Bowl between New York's finest and New York's bravest. Rivalry dating back to 1973, 46th matchup between the teams tonight. New York's finest already ushered in by the bagpipes. We now await FDNY. And Phil, the head coach for FDNY, John Rosati, in his 7th season. He's been the coach since 2012, actually played 6 seasons as a defensive back for FDNY.
John was a teammate of mine, Tom, for 6 seasons of my 8. And like me, he never did win a national championship as a player, but as a coach, he stayed with the team as an assistant, and he was able to get 4 championship rings for himself, his first one as a head coach last year, and he's looking for number 2 this year.
And Phil, we spoke about NYPD a little bit as well. Their head coach, Kevin Shanahan, and he brought up to me before the game, it's a real battle for the city.
You're going to read the whole roster?
We're just going to do it on the video.
Oh.
Right, but last year the lineups were done on the fly when the game started.
They made. What do you got? The starting rosters there? I don't think you should do it that way.
We already did it with the PD.
Right, but we're going to do it after kickoff, too.
Bardstown Police Department, formerly Ladder 45, quarterback.
Engine 247, wide receiver. About 44, tight end.
Engine 39, running back.
Running back, 3, left guard. 59 and 30, right guard. 55 truck. 102 truck, left tackle.
35 truck, center.
158 engine, 3 safety.
D, ladder 112, defensive back.
Engine 53, cornerback. Engine 294, defensive back.
That's Matt Ops, nose tackle.
Ladder 49, defensive end.
Ladder 82, defensive end.
Engine 236, linebacker.
The ladder 143, linebacker.
Frank Bozos, ladder 163, strong safety. Richie Richards, linebacker, ladder 137.
Steve Orr, assistant head coach, engine 276, retired.
Welcome back to Coney Island, folks, here in Brooklyn, New York, MCU Park, the site for tonight's matchup between New York's finest and New York's bravest. And this is A high intense matchup. I'm joined alongside Phil Tafani and Mike Shepard. Guys, great to have you here up in the booth.
Great to be here with you, Tom, and I think I speak for Mike when I say right now it's butterflies. Both sides of that gridiron, both of those sidelines, this is it, man. It's all on the line, and one of these teams is going to the national championship. And we're just waiting the coin toss and the playing of the national anthem right now, but I can assure you everybody is on maximum right now. These guys are ready to go.
Yeah, Phil, you brought up a good point there. Last year, FDNY won this game 24-21, very high intense game, and it really came down to the end. FDNY was actually down late in the game, and you guys were here for that one as well, no?
Yep, it was really, it was probably one of the best played football games that I've seen in a while. I think Mike would agree with me that it didn't look good for the fire department at all. The fourth quarter was looming. They were down 2 touchdowns, but as is often the case in this game, people are down but not out, and the fire department came roaring back and took it in the end with a last-minute field goal.
As right now we are getting ready for the playing of our national anthem, we'd like to welcome you folks watching on our Facebook live stream, as we will be with kickoff in just one moment.
Color guards coming to the middle of the field right now from both departments, and there's a lot of pomp and circumstance and a lot of emotions as both teams remember players past and present, many of whom passed away either in the line of duty or on September 11th in 2001.
We have a moment of silence for all those who have made the supreme sacrifice in service to keep our city or our country. Let us especially remember the following members of service who gave their lives in the last year. From the FDNY, firefighter Michael Davidson, Engine 6'9". From the FDNY, Lieutenant Christopher Ragusa, Battalion 5'0". Fire Department of New York.
Very solemn time right now, Tom. Both teams can appreciate the sacrifices made by members of each department, and the mutual respect is really something to behold.
Throughout the world, for our freedom, let us honor them now with a moment of silence. Now, please remain standing to sing our national anthem. Please welcome Police Officer Jason Martinoff as he sings the Star Spangled Banner. Police Officer Jason Martinoff, thank you, officer, we appreciate it. At this time, we turn your attention to being for special presentations from the FDNY and NYPD finest.
Welcome to Brooklyn, New York, here in Coney Island, MCU Park for the 2018 Fun City Bowl. New York's finest takes on New York's bravest, the NYPD versus the FDNY Classic. I'm Tom Scavetta, joined alongside Mike Shepard and Phil Tafano. Sorry, Phil, Mike, great to have you up here in the booth as we are now getting ready for another ceremony at midfield.
Yes, a lot of pomp and circumstance before the game, Tom. This is when the players are really, really itching because this is when you really you're up past the gauges into red right now, and it's really tough to sit through this part of it. But this is important, and it's important to remember those who have sacrificed and the families they left behind who are still suffering. So this is something both teams are very proud to be a part of.
Folks watching at home, thank you very much for joining us on Facebook Live. And a quick reminder, the winner of tonight's game will advance to the National Public Safety Football League Championship game. That will be played on June 23rd. Site to be determined, and they will play the winner of tonight's game will play the winner of Chicago FD Blaze and the Chicago PD Enforcers.
You know, Tom, to take nothing away from those two fine clubs, but throughout the history of the National Public Safety Football League, the Eastern Conference Championship has more or less been a fait accompli as to who the national champion would be. The NYPD has won 9 national championships, the FDNY has won 4 and appeared in 6. So these two teams have participated in 15 of the 19 championship contests. Doesn't mean it's a guarantee, but it's always a pretty good indicator if you were a betting man that the winner of tonight's game was going to take the national title. So, but it's interesting. I would say almost to a man, if given a choice between the national championship or winning this game, I think the players on both sides would say they'd rather win this one and forego a trip to the national championship.
As we mentioned several times already, an Army-Navy-like feel here in Coney Island. Mike, great to have you here as well.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, you always want to win at home field, you know. It's always great to be a part of New York and to be the champ of New York.
And the champ of the city, Mike. Let's face it, this is bragging rights, as you well know.
Battle for the city.
It's all 5 boroughs, so wherever you go, they know you're the champ.
I'm waiting the coin toss, Tom. Captains will be coming to the center of the field. You can see down there in jersey number 50 is Police Commissioner Jimmy O'Neill. They call him Jimmy Cop. And it looks like the luminaries are coming off the field now. And it's just about set to go. We're waiting the arrival of the captains at midfield. I'm not sure who the captains are. We'll find out, and we'll set that for you when they arrive at midfield.
Well, a few of the captains for NYPD right here in front of me. One of the starting linebackers, Louis Basabe, out of Iona College.
The Gales.
Small guy at 5'10", and a couple of captains in the secondary. The free safety, Kevin Healy, number 15, and he'll be joined by one of the backup safeties in the secondary, Brian Idens, a captain from the Long Beach Police Department.
Don't think we have the fire department captains, do we, Tom?
Nope, but on the offensive side of the ball for NYPD, it'll be number 8, Enoch Thomas, a 5'8", 230 power back in his 11th season. We'll see shades of him tonight, and we'll also see NYPD playing 5 running backs in this game. Slated number 2 and number 3 on the depth chart, Demetrius Starling and Dwayne Harper. Both will see looks as the kickoff returners, so it will be definitely interesting to see which one of them will come out on special teams if NYPD starts out with the football.
Yeah, most of the, a lot of times your kick returners are not your primary backs once it's all on the line of scrimmage, but we'll see. Like I said, the PD has really, they're deep, they're big, they're fast. They usually have the talent edge, but once the whistle blows, all that goes out the window and it's a dogfight. So we're just about ready to go. What do you think, Mike? This is about the time when Michael Buffer usually says, let's get ready to rumble, right?
Yeah, that's it. Showtime, baby. Put up or shut up. I'll tell you, the only thing is PD has a bigger man pool power, you know, so they got 5 different running backs. FD's probably got 3.
Oh, yeah.
They got 30,000 members. We got 8,000. Maybe 7,000 active.
Yeah, it's there's no disputing any of that. That the PD has a advantage numerically, size-wise, talent pool, the whole works. But like we said at the start of the show, it really doesn't matter. All of these games are close, and it comes down to who wants it more.
That's true, Chief. You know, you beat the big guy, you beat him with speed.
Well, that and a little luck, wouldn't you say, Tom?
Yeah. Speaking of speed, Phil and Mike, FDNY, a couple of really incredible receivers. Their number 1 receiver, Brian Vomero. Number 4, Eric Ortega, the slot guy, as you brought up. And number 19, last year's hero, James Lamatria, who had that big touchdown late.
Well, you know what?
Great catch.
That's a 3-headed monster right there for the fire department. But the thing of it is, the PD is well aware that those are Davin's favorite targets.
Yeah.
There are other receivers on the roster, but he's going to be looking to them.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is, this game's going to come down to how much protection Davin can get from a very banged-up offensive line.
Yeah. And who wants it more as well? As you mentioned, Davin, 4 national championships for FDNY.
And 6 appearances in the big game. And so, whoa, look at this.
There he comes.
Someone with a PD aviation unit just parachuted into midfield. That's pretty interesting.
As the first parachute touches the field at around the 30-yard line. A couple others up there as well.
This guy looks like this guy's headed to the Belt Parkway, but he's turning around.
Clear sky here in Coney Island.
We had a bit of a torrential downpour early in the day, got rid of some of this humidity, but it's
the 2
sticky.
helicopter units flying over also.
Helicopters as well, flying above the field.
Here he comes to the landing.
Clear blue sky trying to peek out, guys.
It's given the fans who showed up a little look at the prowess of our emergency services. These guys are spectacular. The police emergency service and aviation unit.
This guy's got the American flag, Chief, and that's always a beautiful thing to see.
Absolutely. A lot of patriotism, a lot of dedication to service on both sides of the field today.
Without a doubt.
Another guy on that FDNY offense, as we'll find out who gets the ball first shortly. A guy that you guys were talking about earlier, Mike Seluzitsky, a 5'8" guy, one of the 2 backs, along with Stephen Holliday, who was the FDNY MVP last year. Holliday more of a scat back, but Seluzitsky, power guy, up the gut, between the tackles. Talk about his impact.
Well, you know what it is with Holliday? Holliday is a very shifty, fast-footed back, but he's also able to run between the tackles and run with power. Selitsky is a straight for big yards and for short yardage.
That will definitely be key in this game. FDNY already with the explosive offense. The officials meeting at midfield. As we get the round of applause here in the stands. Helicopters flying around MCU Park.
And I'll tell you something, Tom. I think maybe some of or a lot of the fans might still be out in the parking lot having one last one for the road before they come in. The stands haven't really filled up yet, but you'll see in a couple of minutes it's going to be packed in here.
That's right. I took the N train in today, and I saw a lot of them as I walked into the park for the very first time, actually. This is my very first time in MCU Park, and I'm pretty sure this is my first or second time actually in Coney Island, so pleasure to be here with both of you gentlemen, as it looks like we are about to have the coin toss.
Let's see. I'll try to set those captains for you for the FDNY. It's Robert Hoey, the defensive back, number 21, quarterback Ryan Davin, receiver Brian Vomero, and the big tight end, number 83, Tom Slane, are at midfield representing the fire department.
And for NYPD, Kevin Healy out there, along with Louis Basabe, the starting linebacker, Enoch. And then Kai Bowen as well, the tight end out of number 6 precinct.
And these will be the last of the pleasantries as things are about to get brutal, Tom.
About to get very chippy, very excited for this one.
Well, you know, generally speaking, with the exception of a unfortunate incident, little dust-up slash brawl here a few years ago during one of the games. These games are played tough, but played clean for the most part.
As we await the verdict of the coin toss.
Let's see. It looks like the PD the PD has elected to receive.
So NYPD wins the toss. They will get the ball first. FDNY will get the ball to start the second half.
And that's it, Tom. The preliminaries are over. And Mike, this is it. The mouth guards are going in, and we're going to mix it up here.
That's it. Time to bite down on the mouthpiece and lay the hits.
Folks, we'd like to thank you again for joining us on our Facebook live stream here tonight. Myself, Tom Scavetta, joined alongside Phil Tefano and Mike Shepard, bringing you all the coverage of tonight's 2018 Fun City Bowl. And at this time, Connor Garrity sets the kickoff for FDNY as their special teams unit trots on the field.
I'll tell you what, last year, Tom, in the closing moments was a very severe angle. I don't know why the fire department didn't position the ball more to the center of the hashes, but Connor Garrity had to kick that winning field goal from a severe left position.
Yeah.
And luckily he was able to put it through because I had my doubts that was going to work out.
I know I wasn't there for that game, but I know you guys were. And my professor, Matt Shortis, who called last year's game, was here as well from, now it's called LIU Post. You'll see a lot of players from both squads from CW Post. The school was called Charles William Post back in the day, now rebranded to LIU. And back deep for NYPD. So we'll try to get a hold of the two players back deep. It looks like
Ramirez, number 22.
Nicholas Ramirez will be back there.
And it looks like Aaron Garrett, number 34 for the PD.
Aaron Garrett and Nicholas Ramirez, two of the backs back there for NYPD.
Two of their starting running backs also.
And we're underway.
We are underway.
There
the
we
ball
go.
is fielded at the 15-yard line as NYPD
shoestring tackle
gets tripped up at around the 22-23-yard line. Aaron Garrett, and that is where NYPD will start with the football today.
Jesus Sanchez, number 93, took him down, and we're underway. We're ready to go. Pretty good field position for the PD, Tom. Well, not really. On average, I would say. Fair to Midland at the 23.
Will be first down and 10 at just about the 23-yard line. Quarterback Tyler Ryan for NYPD in his fourth season, product of Ward Melville High School. In his last game, went 18 for 30, 215 yards, 3 touchdown passes, and on the season, 10 touchdowns compared to just 1 interception. He will start out in shotgun formation, one back to his left. That will be Demetrius Starling. As he hands off to Starling, looking for some daylight, he'll plow ahead behind his center, Matt Zakian, maybe for 2 yards.
Put down on the play by number 15, Tom Fernan.
And let's get to those backs and receivers for NYPD. Demetrius Starling started the game at tailback. His receivers, J.P. Donato, Nick Pastore, and Frank D'Elia. Tight end, Raheem Farrow. The offensive line, left to right, Mo Vogel, Ken McNair, Matt Zakian, Shane Jacobs, and Ben Edel. As NYPD will be going left to right to start the game. Shotgun formation again. Ryan takes the snap. He finds his receiver. That is number 7, Kai Bowen, as he runs across the near sideline, just past the 30-yard line.
Close to the first down. I'm not sure if he picked it up. Brought down number 2 of the fire department, Christian Malera. And it's going to be close.
And Christian Malera, Phil, starting one of the 5 starters in that secondary for FDNY.
And looks like third and about a half a yard, Tom.
So the official ruling will be 3rd and 2. As shotgun handoff to Starling, looking for some daylight, crosses the 35 out to about
first down,
the 37. So a first down for NYPD.
And brought down by the tackling machine himself, number 54, Sam Murray. He is the key to the FDNY's defense.
Sam Murray, one of the players to watch for FDNY defensively. And Phil, FDNY, you'll get to their defensive starters in just a moment. Shotgun set, 4 receivers in the game. 3 to Ryan's left, 1 to his right. He throws, and the pass is incomplete through the outstretched hands of number 84 for NYPD. That is Frank D'Elia.
All right, to set you with the fire department defense, the starters starting from the backfield, number 56, starting from the defensive line, number 56, Steve Familori, number 98 at nose guard, Brian Wilson. Other defensive lineman, J.J. Fernan, number 15, Sam Murray, the big guy in the middle, number 54, Rob Hoey, number 21, the veteran at linebacker, number 33, Richie Richards, the other linebacker, and the defensive backs, Anthony Phipps, number 0, Frank Vozos, 43, John Moody, 22 at free safety, Tim Dollison, 37. You are the defensive back. Sorry, Tom. Ran into that play.
No problem, Phil.
Up the middle, Chief, and nice stop by number 21 of the Bravest.
That was Rob Hoey, the venerable linebacker / defensive back.
As the 11-year vet, Enoch Thomas, number 8, the captain, the power back, took that carry for a gain of about 3, so it'll be 3rd down and 7 upcoming for NYPD. They converted their first 3rd down try. Unexpected snap there. A little soon, Ryan buys time in the pocket, throws, as it is incomplete. Fooled me there for a second, as that pass was intended for Kai Bowen again. So after 1 first down, NYPD's first possession will end after 6 plays.
Looked like he had his man for a moment, but closing on him late, number 27, Elijah Toussaint, the defensive back, and he was able to break it up.
As Mike Sheridan, number 48, on to punt. He will also be kicking field goals today for NYPD.
Deep for the fire department is, I'll tell you when I see his
Here's
number.
The snap, rugby-style punt by Sheridan. It's fielded by FDNY, looking for some daylight, and there is a flag on the field. Looked like Eric Ortega fielding that punt. He will get to about the 37-yard line as we await the flag.
Usually indicates a block in the back, but let's wait and see.
So it looks like it will be against FDNY for a block in the back, so that will
Legal hands to the face.
As FDNY trying to see all the way from out here where they will take over.
All right, fire department starting offense for you, left to right on the line. Number 63, Al Garcia. 77, Craig Wells, the left guard. Center, Joe Montgomery. Right guard, Yuli Muhaj, number 69. 66 in the right tackle is Tim Caffrey, and we'll set the rest for you after this play.
So Ryan Davin, the quarterback, 4 national championships under his belt. He starts in shotgun formation. The back, Stephen Holliday, off to his right, 1 man in motion. As Davin throws and he completes a shoestring catch made, and it's caught, and he's still going down the sideline. It looked like Eric Ortega, or maybe looks like James Lamacchia actually made that catch.
There he is, starting off another game, finishing last year on the top, coming right back at him.
Lamacchia has a well-known uncle on the job, Tom Lamacchia. Let me finish up the rest of the FD lineup for you. The receivers, Lamacchia, who just made that nice shoestring catch. Ryan Davin at QB. Wide receiver Eric Ortega, his favorite target, number 89, Brian Vomero. And the running back, Steve Holliday, and you'll see Matt Zalutsky in the short yardage situations, number 11. Davin has it, sets his team. He's got twins left and right. Holliday in the backfield. And barking out the signals. Davin looking to his right, under pressure, and brought down behind the line of scrimmage by number 25 for the police department.
That is Pete Lazar.
Yeah, pocket collapsed on Davin. He had a little bit of time, but not enough.
I'll tell you, Chief, looked like the nose guard pushed the center right into him. Kind of jammed him up. He couldn't make a move.
Could be right, Mike.
Pete Lazar on the line for NYPD defensively, alongside defensive tackles number 64 Mike Canizzo and number 93 Brandon Ravello, and Eric Ryan, number 94, on the line as well. The linebackers are Ulrich Blaze and Louis Basabe. The secondary is Dave Lawrence, Mark Ricketts, Kevin Healy, Frank Smith, and Mustafa Young.
Okay, fire department with trips right, single receiver left. Davin throwing and a little bit of contact, but nothing doing. Pass was intended for Ortega, out of bounds, no catch. And that brings up a third and about 12.
Third and 12.
As Phil, it looks like FDNY third and long here, trying to convert and see if they can get anything going after that big catch from, it was actually Eric Ortega who made that catch, just found that out, and it was set back by the sack by Pete Lazar.
Yeah, well, we're getting a little taste of how it's going to go here on the line. So far, he's had some time. Let's see how they hold up. Look, there we got procedure on Steve Holliday, number 32. Yep, Steve Holliday lurched forward a little bit, and as is always the case, they caught him.
So FDNY will be pushed back 5 yards, Phil, bringing up 3rd and 17.
You wonder if they're going to punt here, Chief.
What, a pooch punt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it done before. It's part of the repertoire. But I think Davin might want to stretch the field, just give him something to think about. Let's see the package they bring in. The big tight end. I'm sorry, they brought in their big wide receiver, Fernando Rodriguez, for this one. He looks more like a tight end. They have him on the line for this one.
You wonder if they're going to go deep here or just dump it off underneath and hope for, be hopeful what they get. Looks like they're going deep.
Davin throws to the right side. Looking for LaMachia, but broken up, and the fire department will punt it away.
Spotted away by former CW Post player Dave Lawrence, number 2. Nicely done. So a post-to-post there on that first possession. Lazar with the sack, and then the breakup by Lawrence, bringing up 4th down.
Well, Mike, kind of the feeling out process. Fire department have punted away. Connor Garrity doing double duty today, place kicking and punting. And let's see if they could shift the field position a little bit.
Nice kick.
Oh, pretty good kick by Garrity.
Nice tackle. Nice tackle.
Brought down in a really well-timed tackle by number 81, Tom Herrick.
Like I was telling you, Chief, they got to get down there with speed, and that guy was flying all the way. The ball had good hang time. He was right on top of him.
Not much going there for Frank Smith, returning for NYPD. Nicely covered by FDNY. And you talked about last year, Phil Manti, number 26, had a couple of key special teams play for New York's bravest.
Yep, Phil is a special teams dynamo. Also, speaking of special teams, we'll get to it after this play. Curious thing about last year's game.
Tyler Ryan in shotgun, 4 receivers set, fakes the handoff to Starling. He throws the Bowen right through his hands, incomplete, bringing up 2nd down and 10.
Tom, last year a big part of the game, and you could say I think was pivotal, was whoever it was that was receiving kicks for the NYPD dropped about 3 of them. 2 of them went over to the NYPD, and I think the fire department took 2 of them went over to the FDNY. Fire department took advantage of both, so be curious to see if they've been able to shore that up for today's game.
That was the 2nd drop by Kai Bowen, as he will now be set alongside the right tackle, Ben Edel. There's the handoff on 2nd down to Starling, looking for some daylight. Gets through 1 defender, and he crosses the 30-yard line before he is brought down by FDNY.
Number 56, Steve Familori, made the tackle. Pickup of about, looks to have picked up about 5.
3rd down and 5, just under 10 minutes to go here in this first quarter, 9:45. As Ryan will be in shotgun again, 4 receivers, 3 to his left. Bowen in the slot.
Strong left.
D'Elia split out on the near side to his right. Ryan takes the snap, looking for a receiver, and he throws and he finds his receiver, number 3, J.P. Donato, and it looks like that will be enough for the 1st down.
Nice
Frank Vozis, number 43, brought him down. He threaded the needle with that, Tom, right in between 3 coverage men. Nicely done. 1st down for the NYPD.
Very tight coverage, but the 6'1" J.P. Donato able to use his strong hands to haul that one in for his first reception.
Played a smart play there. He got to the first down, and then they caught the ball, and PD's on their way.
First down and 10 for NYPD from their own 39. Man in motion. That's D'Elia. He takes the handoff. Follows his blockers as he's not going to get much. Snuffed out by FDNY.
Anthony Phipps made the stop. Looked like he had a little running room for a second, but then it all closed in on him as he tried to turn the corner.
Couldn't get the corner.
Clock is running. 8:30 to go in this first quarter. No score yet between FDNY and NYPD. NYPD in their navy blue uniforms, gold helmets, gold pants. FDNY in their red helmets, white jerseys, red numbers. It's like black trim up near the shoulder pads.
Tom, you didn't take the easy way out and say NYPD in the Notre Dame uniforms.
Yeah. As NYPD on first down, stoppage of play by the officials. As there's a player slow to get up there for FDNY. It looks like it might be Brian Wilson, number 98.
It's the man in the middle. That's number 74, the big guy, Chris Spagnola. And it looks like they're marking off a penalty. Oh.
So a face mask against FDNY will advance NYPD 15 yards forward into FDNY territory. Ryan in the shotgun formation. He has Ramirez right next to him to his right. Ramirez will take the handoff, full head of speed as he's shoestring tackled there after a pickup of about 3 or 4.
Sam Murray once again doing his usual workmanlike job. Number 54 in the middle.
Drive currently in progress for NYPD. Around 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. 5-play drive thus far, helped out by a 15-yard face mask penalty from FDNY. No score yet in this game. As Dwayne Harper checks in, he'll be right to the left of Ryan.
Bunch formation on the left, Tom.
Ryan takes the snap, throws to his left. He finds receiver. That is Kai Bowen, full head of steam as he will cross the 35, about to the 32.
Brought down there by 92 Sal Sedano with help from number 81, doing double duty, Tommy Herrick.
Nice run right up the middle, Chief.
Well, a little short dump pass, but he shed the first tackler. He was able to get out there and pick up some yards.
You can see the PD offensive line is really strong. A lot of weight on that line.
Single back formation. The handoff to Harper. A helmet flies off as Harper looking to plow his way ahead. He gets inside the 30-yard line to about the 29. Pickup of 3.
Brought down by number 35 for the fire department, Travis Pope. And we always used to say, Tom, when I was playing in this game, that if the PD was smart, they'd never throw the ball because they've got these big horses on the front that can really move people around and wear you down as the game goes on. So right now the running game looks pretty good.
Looks like Ken McNair, the left guard, lost his helmet. He comes off the field. He will have to sit out for one play. As the Pistols set Ryan, hands off to his back. Harper snuffed out immediately by FDNY.
Nice play.
21. 15, Tom Fernan, helped out by number 21, Rob Hoey. He juggled the ball there for a second, was able to regain the handle on it.
Now, Phil, Rob Hoey in his 12th season, 45 years old.
He's a specimen. Rob worked under me in ladder 143, where I was a lieutenant, in absolute pristine physical shape, and he still looks unbelievable today. He's never gained a pound.
Third down and 8 for NYPD. 4 receivers set, 3 to Ryan's left, 1 far to his right. Ryan takes the snap as he throws it up for grabs near the end zone, and the ball is holding and caught for a touchdown.
Negative, Tom. No touchdown.
No, incomplete is the ruling.
They hit the dirt before.
Looks like they're getting. Actually, it looks like it's going to be complete.
It's complete at the 1-yard line.
Completed to number 14, Nick Pastore.
I think he got touched when he made the catch by one of the FD players.
So the ball is actually going to be marked at the 3. So Pastore, about a 26-yard catch.
And Tom, if I could make an observation, he has all day to throw. He has not had any pressure on him at all.
Pistol formation. Ryan takes the snap, hands off to Thomas, looking for some daylight as he enters the end zone for a touchdown. NYPD up first, 6-0.
Could have drove a Mack truck through that hole.
Absolutely.
So Enoch Thomas, the power back, kind of like Seluzitsky for FDNY, used in short yardage situations. The 11-year vet has NYPD strike first.
Very impressive drive by the police department. They're able to run and pass, move the ball effectively. Fire department's going to have to solve the mystery of getting to this quarterback, because if they don't, it's going to be a long evening.
The extra point is good by the place kicker, Leander Young, as NYPD up 7-0, an 8-play drive for the New York Police Department, as FDNY will try to respond down 7-0, 4:55 to go in the first quarter.
Well, got to wonder, Chief, are they missing Mickey McPartland right now?
Well,
big man up the middle, big defensive player, big hits. You wonder, he took a lot of heart out of some of the guys when it came across the middle.
Well, you know, Tom, I'm sorry. Well, you know, Mike, as is the case in every sport, there comes a time you have to hang it up, and it's next man up. To use a boxing adage, the police department has landed the first shot, and the fire department has a bit of a bloody nose. Let's see how they respond.
I like that reference used there, Phil. Bloody nose, but let's see if they can come back and respond, as FDNY, no stranger to being down early.
Absolutely.
Well, the only good thing on the other end of that is Mickey McPartland's coaching the team this year on the defense. I saw him earlier. He looks great, and you hope that he's passing it along.
Young will kick off for NYPD. 2 men back to return for FDNY.
Deep and fielding the ball at about the 15-yard line. Number 22, that's John Moody.
Out to the 43.
Nice return by Moody. And Davin and company will come back out and see if they can draw things even here. Good place to start, Tom.
Yeah, very good field position for FDNY. An excellent return by Moody, the free safety. As FDNY looking to get things going, Phil, as Davin trying to respond.
Davin had time to throw. He was sacked once in the first possession, but his receivers were getting out into space. We're going to see how things go as it progresses. Twins to both sides. We have a slot receiver, a single receiver left. I apologize. Holiday in the backfield. Davin looking right, throwing. Has his man, number 19, James Lamacchia. Nice pickup on the play. Pickup of about 20 yards. Taking it inside the NYPD 35-yard line. They're at the NYPD 34, 1st and 10.
Nice sliding catch there by Lamacchia, using the field to his advantage to haul that one in.
Davin had time again, so it looks like maybe they were able to do a little bit of patchwork here, Tom.
Already knocking on the door, Phil.
2 receivers right, single receiver left. Handoff to Holiday. Takes it up the middle, might have picked up one. Not much there. Stacked up on the play by number 44 for the police department. That's Louis Basabi.
One of the 2 linebackers, the captain out of Iona. Played 4 years with the Gales back when they had a football program up in New Rochelle.
You know, they got a great rugby team. I used to play against them when I was at Newport's. All right. 2nd down, about 9. Single receiver to the right is Lamacchia. We have Twins to the left, and Holiday once again, your single back. They'll keep it on the ground to Holiday. He squirms ahead, picked up about 3. Should set the fire department up with a 3rd and about 5.
Snuffed out by David Johnson, number 97. And Holiday, good little burst there to set up a manageable 3rd down for the FDNY.
It's nice to see the FDs bringing a running game in, maybe to open up the passing game.
Absolutely. You don't want to get in a shootout too early. You want to be able to establish the running game. Holiday is very steady. I don't know if this is in Garrity's range, but for a field goal, I think they could use at least another 3 yards. Davin swings it out, has his man. Number 89, his favorite target, Brian Vomero. That'll be enough for a first down. He was able to reach out and get it.
About the 23, Chief.
Now under 2.5 minutes remaining in the first quarter, 2:15 to be exact. Mustafa Young, a potential touchdown saving tackle there.
Vomero is Davin's favorite target, no doubt about it, and everybody knows it, including the police department.
Chief, you got, Tom, we got a lot of Facebook fans on here watching the game from all parts of the world, over in Australia and parts of Europe. So why don't we give a shout out and say hello to them, and hopefully during the New York game here.
Thank you very much.
Point.
Thank you very much for joining us, folks.
Handoff to number 4, Ortega going to the right. He's going to throw the option. And, very nearly caught and then almost intercepted. In and out of hands of the receiver and broken up by number 2 for the NYPD. That's Dave Lawrence. Perhaps a touchdown saving tip away. And a little razzle-dazzle here in the early going, Tom. I wasn't expecting that one.
It's another CW post guy breaking up the pass there. Had to throw that one in there.
You always want to get those out early,
Yeah.
Unless you do a fumblerooski toward the fourth quarter and really sneak it in.
Great trick play, but did not work.
All right. Fire department is in field goal range. They will set it up here.
Wide out.
Ortega to the left of Davin with also
Vomero.
Throw over the middle. Vomero has it.
Catch.
Beautiful catch and throw.
On the
Vomero makes the catch on the 6-yard line. And let's just say it, the bravest have answered back.
Vomero, good job finding the soft zone in NYPD's defense there, taking advantage of just the 2 linebackers, and that's his 3rd catch already. He's had a great game so far. Phil and Mike, as you said, their number 1 receiver, setting up a first down and goal inside the 10. I believe it's at the 6.
Where it looks to be, Tom.
Vomero out wide to the left, Ortega to the right. Slot back and a handoff to Holiday. The
fumble.
Ball. No, the ball came out afterwards. The whistle blew. Might have gotten a yard, but we are in goal-to-go territory here.
In the red zone.
Under a minute to go in the first quarter. FDNY probably getting off just one more play in the quarter.
Well, let's see. I'll tell you this much, Tom, like we said at the start of the broadcast, Vomero, as you can see, split wide to the left on this one, Ortega wide right. 2 backs in the backfield, Stolanowski and Holiday. Let's see what they do here. Watch Vomero on the left. He's looking that way. He has him.
Got him,
Vomero
touchdown.
for the touchdown. And as is so often the case, Tom, you say to yourself, they know this guy is the target. Why can't they stop him? And Vomero had his way once again.
And that's just the traditional little slant route there for the 6-yard strike. If you see, there was contact, but Vomero did a good enough job to create separation where they wouldn't throw the flag and gets an easy score for FDNY.
Well, he pushed off under 5 yards, so you're allowed to do that. And he looked like the bigger man in that run there.
I'll tell you, Mike Shepard, getting back to our boxing analogies, was we await the extra point from Garrity. Little movement on the line.
Nice kick. Nice kick.
All right. PD bloodied the
Hold
nose.
On. Offside. Movement. Bring it back another 5, Chief.
Mental mistake there. You don't like to see that.
He had about 40 yards into the stands on that kick, so I think he can make it.
Well, getting back to the boxing analogies, Mike, NYPD bloodied the FDNY's nose, but the FDNY came back with a couple of good combinations and answered back, and they took the second round. So here we go. This fight is on.
Always good to have a good cut, man, Chief.
Garrity to attempt the extra point.
And still good.
And good.
Yeah. And he got a hand on it too, Chief, and he still had plenty of power to push it through.
Well, all's well that ends well, as Bill Shakespeare said. Tom?
So Phil and Mike, 13 seconds to go in this first quarter. The game is now tied. And Garrity's extra point, it looked like it was partially blocked, but enough strength to get it through the uprights. And NYPD will now get the ball back.
As you can see, this is shaping up like a slugfest, as it usually does. And it's very entertaining first quarter so far. And looking forward to the rest of the game.
Ryan Davin still has not thrown an interception this season, and we saw why on that drive. Very efficient with his arm, able to offset any type of pressure from NYPD, unlike the first possession where Lazar got in his face a little bit, where it set up a 3rd and long, where FDNY could not convert.
Davin's a cool customer, no question about it, and a good leader. As you can see, when they needed something, he got them something.
As Garrity sets the kickoff for FDNY.
Actually, Sean Driscoll is doing that one, I think, number 18. Yeah.
As the ball is
22.
fielded by Ramirez at the 5-yard line.
88.
Full head of steam. He's got a lane. He's near midfield, and he's finally tripped up. It looked like he was tripped up by FDNY.
Number 88, Fernando Rodriguez.
Fernando Rodriguez.
Nice open field tackle there.
As that will do it for the first quarter. The score is tied. NYPD 7, FDNY 7. We'll step aside for a quick break. You're listening to the 2018
He
Fun
looks
City
a little
Bowl.
slow getting off the field there, number 88.
Oh, that guy had a full head of steam, and he went right into him.
Big tackle, though. Open field tackle like that's tough.
Welcome back, folks, to the 2018 Fun City Bowl.
Wait a minute.
As play resumes, as the handoff is taken by number 27, Starling, as a little confusion here. I'm assuming the second quarter has started. The clock is still ticked 0-0-0.
They have not changed ends, Tom.
So
I got a little confused
that
here.
confused us. We called for a break, and the break was not granted. NYPD now with the ball, 2nd down. Ryan in shotgun formation, twins to his left and to his right. In the backfield with him is Starling. He fakes the handoff, throws, pass caught by number 14 for NYPD. That is Nick Pastore on the near side. As we're still trying to get a time here, we don't know.
The problem in the clock.
Driscoll made the tackle for the fire department, and Tom, I have yet to see anyone get within 3 yards of NYPD quarterback Tyler Ryan.
Great job by that big offensive line for NYPD.
Tom, on that last drive from the FD, I seen the PD offensive line, the defensive line changed 4 times.
Wow.
And the officials
the
call.
FD offensive line, nobody ever changed.
That's what you call depth, Mike, and they've got it in spades.
So now the first quarter is officially over. A little confusion there. We're going to step aside for a quick break. You're listening to the 2018 Fun City Bowl.
Right.
Welcome back to the 2018 Fun City Bowl between New York's finest and New York's bravest, tied at 7 to start the second quarter. I'm Tom Scavetta. Jake, as Ryan throws, he finds his receiver. It looks like that will be a first down, caught on the near side by number 14, Nick Pastore.
Pickup of about, I would say, 14 on the play.
Joined alongside Phil Tafano and Mike Sheridan.
Rob Hoey made the stop, and PD into FDNY territory.
Yep, just inside the 40-yard line. Ryan shotgun formation, twins to each side, to his left and to his right. As Ryan, he gets the snap, and another handoff. Starling along the left side, and he gets a nice block from Donato, but he's tripped up by, looks like that was number, trying to see who that was, number 5, John Ring, on the stop.
And you know what? He might have went for a lot more, Tom. That was a beautiful stop by Ring. He just was able to get his hands around his ankles as he was turning the corner.
So that will bring up 2nd down and 6, a gain of 4.
4, and it could have been a lot more.
Yep. As Ken McNair still out of the game at left guard for NYPD. As Ryan, another shotgun set. He awaits the snap, rolls right, throws right, finds his receiver, Kai Bone, who breaks a tackle. He's free, and he's finally shoved out of bounds by number 18, Sean Driscoll.
A little help from John Ring, and here we go again. This one's shaping up like a back-and-forth slugfest, and NYPD on the move. Looks like they'll have it at the 21-yard line, 1st and 10.
A gain of about 14, 15 yards there for Bowen, who not really much on the scouting report, but he's been involved early for NYPD. Ryan now trips to his left, one receiver wide right. As the handoff there, a run up the gut.
And as is usually the case, Sam Murray put a stop to that one. Picked up about 2. Tom, it's standing out to me that nobody's getting anywhere near number
Ryan.
16,
Yep.
Ryan Taylor. So, Ryan Tyler, excuse me. Was it Tyler Ryan?
Big guys up front, as William D. Fawcett is now in the game at left guard over Ken McNair, who is on the sideline.
FD had a blitz on that play, too.
Ryan,
picked it up big
as he
time.
throws, he finds his receiver, number
big
14, Pastore, one more time for another 1st down inside the 5-yard line, down to about the 4.
In the red zone.
Sean Driscoll on the tackle.
They're going to have to bring some pressure. They're going to have to start changing it up, making a couple of blitzes, Mike, because if not, I got to say, Ryan Tyler's going to have a field day today.
Yeah, they had a blitz on that play, and they picked it up well, PD, and they just shut him down right at the line of scrimmage.
1st down and goal from the 4-yard line. Ryan in shotgun formation as he'll hand it off to his back, Harper, who gets maybe the 3, 2.5 at most.
Nice gang tackling there by FD.
Snuffed out by Brian Wilson and TJ Fernan. Looked like Sam Murray in there as well.
He usually is.
So 2nd down and goal, as favorable spot. They're marking Harper that he got inside the 2. I thought he didn't cross the 2.
I think they gave him a lucky spot on that one.
Shotgun formation from Ryan. Frank D'Elia split wide right, Donato wide left.
Timeout.
As a timeout is called on the field, taken by NYPD at the 11:25 mark of the 2nd quarter.
Fast-moving first half, Tom. Yeah. We're flying right through it. Each team is marching up and down the field.
Absolutely.
In fact, fire departments had the ball once, NYPD twice, and we're almost at halftime. We're getting close anyway.
Well, each team's had 2 possessions. This is number 3 for NYPD now.
I stand corrected.
As it looks like it will be 2nd down and goal inside the 2. And we saw last time NYPD was in this territory, they went to their power back, Enoch Thomas, the 5'8", 230 power back for NYPD, who already has 1 touchdown in this game. We'll see if they go to him again. But NYPD lining up in the shotgun the last couple of plays inside the red zone.
Well, as they say, Tom, when you throw the ball, 3 things can happen and 2 of them are bad. So if you're able to run the ball, why not do it?
Yep.
Passing game's always a lot easier than a run game.
Yes, but from this distance, if you can run it, you probably should.
I wouldn't be surprised if they go quarterback
ask the Seattle
sneak.
Seahawks. I think they'll tell you that.
Might go quarterback sneak right here.
Mike Russo in the game as
Handoff.
Harper will take the handoff
Touchdown.
into the end zone for a touchdown for NYPD, the 2nd rushing touchdown for New York's finest, the 1st for Harper. NYPD strikes back 13-7.
Did you see the hole that got open there on that one, Mike? My goodness, he just walked in unmolested. Good stuff up front by the big guys for the NYPD.
As on for the extra point is Mike Sheridan, excuse me.
I wouldn't doubt they try for 2 here. What do you think?
No, sir.
No?
Too early.
Snap is up on its way,
Boom,
and the kick
and
is good. So NYPD goes up over FDNY 14-7 with 11:21 to go in this second quarter. Phil?
Has the feel of an Ali Frazier type back and forth here, Tom.
See what happens now in the 14th round, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to see what happens. We're going to see how Ryan Davin answers, because the NYPD is moving like a well-oiled machine, if I do say so.
I'll tell you, though, Chief, I'm looking at the roster here, and I'm watching guys playing both sides of the ball on FD. I'm looking at number 9, Dan Gunning, and I see him, he's got him as a running back, and I see him as a strong safety.
Yeah, I don't think he's been out there as a running back. They've had some injuries on the defense, so.
I think I see him right now, and he's going to receive.
Yeah, you could see the decided difference, Tom, between the size of the players on these two teams. There's no question the PD has a decided physical advantage.
But also the rotation. They got a bigger rotation. Look at the sidelines.
Yeah, they have numbers.
FDNY definitely the explosive and speed factor for them in their favor offensively.
I would say so. Slight bit of athleticism and a strength edge to the PD on the offensive side.
You wonder what's going to win, though, the speed or the power?
We're going to find out.
Stay tuned.
Is the power going to wear out, or is the speed going to wear out first?
As the two teams continue to trade blows, Phil.
And let's see. Back deep for the fire department.
Here we go.
Number 22.
One hop.
Moody fields it on the hop. He tries to go around the corner and taken down hard by number 21 for the police department.
That is Eric Eastbrook along with Nick Pastore in there on special teams to combine for the stop.
Fire department will take over there, 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line. And let's see, can they answer back? Davin brings out the troops, and we will see.
He's got to do it in the air, guys. He's got to do it in the air.
Receiver package I can see in the huddle is Ortega, Romero, and Lamachia. Lamachia split to the right. Romero and Ortega left. And the big tight end, Tommy Slane, number 83, in motion.
And they give it to him. Oh, nice tackle. Nice
Send
tackle.
it out to Tommy Slane, who made the reception, maybe got one on the play.
Mark Ricketts making the stop.
Yeah, great job there by Ricketts coming in from the back end of the defense, the safety position.
Smaller guy, too. He tackled the bigger guy. That's a big boy, 83.
Well, what do you do with a tree, Mikey? You chop it down at the base, right?
That's it.
Okay, brings up a 2nd and about 9. Lamachia and Ortega triple to the right along with Romero. Single back to the left. The big tight end
on the left side
is Slane. Davin takes the snap, throws, has his man.
Got him.
Lamachia has it
And
in space, 1st down. Pickup of about 15 on the play. That'll be a 1st down, fire department at the 44-yard line of the NYPD.
Another 5 on the second effort there, Chief.
Dave Lawrence finally brought him down, twisted him up like a pretzel, but nevertheless an excellent gain for FDNY.
Well, check the spot. That's about at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10.
You got to wonder if they're going to key off of Lamachia, and you think maybe the FDNY will open it up and start hitting other receivers, or they just keep staying with Lamachia. He's got the golden hands.
Trips to the left. Romero, Ortega, and Lamachia. Davin is looking left, throws, had his man open, but he overthrew him. That was Romero, incomplete. To your point, Mike, they may be keying on Romero and opening things up for Lamachia a little, who's been able to get a few balls and make a few yards here.
Yeah, this is true, Chief. You wanted 2 great receivers, and you wonder what PD's thinking now.
I would like to thank the folks for tuning in to the Facebook live stream. 9:35 to go in the second quarter. FDNY trails NYPD 14-7.
Second and 9. Split. Vomero and Ortega split. Twins to the left. Solo in motion, and Lamacchia to the right. Oh, little mix-up there.
Yeah.
I think that ball was supposed to go to Holiday, a busted play, and Davin is brought down behind the line. Loss of about 6 yards on the play. I don't think it was planned that way, Tom.
That's Pete Lazar in there again, number 25, his second sack of the game. And CW Post Boy in there.
Tom, you're really plugging CW Post, if you don't mind me saying.
Third down and long.
All right, sun's out. It's in the back of the FD, so you wonder if that's going to give PD a
Solis
problem.
by himself to the right. Holiday in the backfield. Vomero, Lamacchia, and Ortega to the left. Davin has it. He's looking left, throws, has his man.
Nice. Oh,
I think he's short of the first down. Has Vomero, who once again with his good hands comes down with it. Big hit by the NYPD, but he was able to hold on.
Kevin Healy on that hit.
Yeah, Healy, excellent job crashing in. Small, undersized guy, 5'9", helping to prevent FDNY from getting the first down. But an excellent grab there by Vomero.
Unfortunately, not enough, however, and they're going to have to punt it away, hopefully shift the field position and get a stop here. Garrity will kick it away.
You wonder if they fake it here, Chief, and run.
Negative.
They're
Too
wide
early.
out. Wide
Too
out,
early,
but
Michael.
That's when you want to do it.
Too early, Michael.
Oh, no, nice kick.
Deep for the NYPD is number 13.
Topsy-turvy gets a nice bounce.
Frank Smith chose not to field it. Took an FDNY bounce down at about the 14-yard line.
It's going to be around the 12, actually. Spot it there.
Well, Tom, your eyes are 30 years younger than mine, so I'll go with you.
As NYPD will take over from their own 12.
I think what we need to see here, Tom, is whether or not the FDNY is able to make an adjustment and get some pressure on the NYPD quarterback, because so far there has been none.
NYPD up 14-7, 7:51 to go in the second quarter. Ryan will go under center here as he hands off to his back. Looks like Starling along the right side. Nice block by Edel. Starling down the sideline. He's still going. He's past the 40, past midfield, down the sideline. Finally bumped down by FDNY, Anthony Phipps. And if I'm...
It looked like John Ring on the correction. You're right. It was Phipps.
So an excellent game there. I was trying to see how much that was. About 50-yard gain there, if I'm looking at that correctly, as they're going to spot the ball at the FDNY 38.
I'll tell you, the PD really blocked that play well. They were able to string the fire department out, and each man was able to get his man blocked. And as you can see, he turned it upfield, and he had the speed to pick up about 50 yards.
Big right side of the line there as he followed. Shotgun formation, trips to Ryan's left. In motion is Frank D'Elia. They fake the handoff to him. They give it to, it looks like Starling, and he's snuffed out by the FDNY front.
Big number 74, Chris Spagnola made the stop, and the fire department is going to have to stiffen right here. This is a crucial possession, even though we're only at the 6:43 mark of the second quarter. The fire department really hasn't had any answers so far, and they better find them.
Clock ticking around the 6.5-minute mark to go before halftime. 14-7.
He had a lot of help from Kevin Jost on that tackle too, Chief.
So
number 44.
Ryan.
More is better.
Ryan will set up shop from just inside his 38-yard line. Trips to his left. Bowen is in the slot along with D'Elia. Ryan throws to D'Elia as he threw it behind him. Incomplete. At the 6:10 mark of the second quarter, that will bring up 3rd and long.
Might be a bit early to say it, Tom, but I would say this is a big 3rd down for the FDNY. They need to develop a little confidence here and figure out this situation of getting pressure on Ryan, because they haven't done it. And the PD is taking advantage of it in a big way.
So NYPD continues to use their 4-receiver set. They've had a lot of success thus far. And in the backfield, Nick Ramirez to Ryan's left. In the shotgun, he takes the snap. As he looks, throws, fired, he's going deep, and it's intercepted by FDNY. And we'll try to get a look at who that was. Looks like that was number 24 on FDNY. That is Sal Ferrali.
Nice play.
Tom, the man who made that play happen was number 15, Tom Fernan, who got a little bit of a piece of that ball. As you can see, it flooded in the air, hung up there, and they were able to make the pick, and that was huge. They needed a big play, and they got it.
Phil, you just brought up a key third down for FDNY defensively, and they got the play that they needed. Now let's see, with 6 minutes to go in the half, if they can get back into this game and put some points on the board.
Well, I would say they're in the game. What they want to do is make sure they're at least even by half. The pressure that came from Fernan on that play was welcome, and they did get to Ryan finally, and was able. He ended up tipping the ball, a duck in the air, and the defensive back made the play. Let's see if they can convert this into a little bit of points before halftime.
Looked like they had a corner blitz on that from the right side, Chief.
That's what it was. Fernan came from the corner, and he was just able to disrupt the pass enough to cause it to hang up that way. First down, Holiday will take it. Looking for a little breathing room. He gets about 3.
Luis Basabe on the tackle, the middle linebacker. Clock ticking under 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Brings up second down.
I'll tell you, FD's got to score here because this game's going quick.
We're still in the feeling out process here, Tom. Michael, I'm sorry. I don't think it's time to press the panic button. 14-7. Fire department has been able to move the ball. And finally, they did get some pressure and resulted in a turnover. So let's see if their fortunes change a little bit. They are by no means in the panic situation yet. Davin takes the snap, looking right, throws, has his man. Once again, it's Vomero. That'll be enough for a first down. First and 10, fire department at the 16-yard line. A little bit of breathing room for them as they try to take it upfield and maybe eat the clock for the rest of this half and come away with some points.
You know, Phil, Davin, very nice release and a timely pass there. And Vomero seems to be really his number one guy, really getting open, kind of like his security blanket out there on the field against a stout NYPD defense, in the words of George Burke.
Yes, Holiday in the slot, Vomero wide left with Ortega, and LaMachia to the right. Handoff to Holiday. Squirms ahead. Might have gotten 3, depending on the spot. Brought down on the play by number 45 for the NYPD. That was Ulrich Blaze making the stop.
Daniel Effinger in there as well. Nice job stopping the run. FDNY, not a lot of success for Holiday in the backfield thus far, as they've relied more on moving the change with the passing game with LaMachia, Ortega, and Vomero.
It's been mostly LaMachia and Ortega, and Holiday's been able to get a few yards here and there, but you're going to see him bust out. Vomero and Ortega to the left, LaMachia to the right, Solos in the slot.
Good protection here on this play. Nice catch.
And that one was complete to Eric Ortega, and that'll move the chains. This is what they're looking for, Tom.
Yeah.
Efficient movement of the ball. Not trying to do too much and eat the clock as they work their way down and close out the half.
Yeah, good blocking time there, Chief.
Well, whatever they did, these guys got ready for this game because they were banged up 2 weeks ago when they came home from L.A. Tom, your thoughts? What do you think has been the difference so far?
I think NYPD's had a couple more big plays than FDNY has. They've got some separation, but the one thing to zero in on, the protection up front for Tyler Ryan.
Nobody's even been close to him, except on an interception. And he got room to run here. Out of bounds.
I couldn't see it. Number 10, Ryan Davin, the QB, scrambling, might have picked up 4 yards on the play. Let's see where they mark it. No, not bad. Davin picked up 5. Bring up a 2nd and 5.
Nice spot.
I'm not sure if that was a designed play.
Nah, it looked like a broken play.
Yeah.
Quarterback, he just kept it.
Might have saw something and took the initiative. Brings up a 2nd and 5. Fire department has been efficient on offense, if not spectacular. Romero, LaMachia, and Ortega to the left, and on the right, split wide, number 80, Mike Imparata.
Another pass, got a man open.
Has his
and
man.
He's got room.
That's Ortega.
Nice play.
Scampers out to the 40-yard line.
Maybe the 41, 39.
And once again, they move the chains.
Kevin Healy, nice shoestring tackle for the NYPD as we're approaching 2 minutes here in the second half. The 2:02 mark, a timeout is taken.
Who took that one, Tom?
We're going to see. And FDNY will take the timeout, so they will have 2 remaining.
Okay, with 2:02 to go, plus the 2-minute warning, that puts them in pretty good shape. They'll be able to run a play from scrimmage, stop the clock, and still have those 2 timeouts.
I'll tell you, Chief and Tom, beautiful evening down here in Coney Island. Everybody's on the rides. Not a slight breeze coming in off the water.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll have any play in the if it comes down to a field goal.
Nah, the wind, the flags on the goalposts are not moving at all, and that torrential rain we had earlier in the day kind of got rid of some of the humidity, but it's real sticky. And I'm looking on the iconic boardwalk to my right and the beautiful Atlantic Ocean. It's a picture-perfect day here under the shadow of the old parachute jump.
Amazing. My mother tells me stories when she used to go on that when she was a kid.
Yeah. Now I'm not sure you'd be able to.
They reset.
Potential lawsuits.
They tack 3 seconds back onto the clock. 2:05 now to go in the second quarter. NYPD up 14-7. Yeah, you just bring it up. Nice night, 85 degrees, very humid. As we can't really see the sun from here. We're protected very nicely. It's probably behind us. So there you have it.
Yeah. Nobody's thinking about the weather down there, I can assure you.
I'll tell you right now, they just want to score points right now.
Well, that extra few seconds works to their advantage. I think you'll agree, Tom, that they'll be able to run a play, stop the clock, have 2 timeouts remaining. They're in good shape time-wise. That's not a factor here. And let's see what Davin can do. He's got trips to the right. He's got Stojanovic in the backfield. The throws, he has his man again. Again, it's Romero, and you have to ask yourself, knowing what they know, they've watched plenty of film on it, why can't they stop Romero?
I'll tell you that Mark Ricketts had tight coverage on him, pushed him out of bounds. He was all over him. He's having a good game today for PD.
Romero, nice gain. 3rd down. And 7.
Twins to the left, it's Ortega and Romero. LaMachia to the right, throws, has him. Oh, but he fell down.
Nice
Romero caught it, but he wasn't able to keep his feet. And unfortunately, that's going to bring up a punting situation. I seriously doubt that they're going to be willing to chance it from this field position.
Looks like they might be going for it, Chief.
Unless it's 3rd down, and I'm wrong.
No,
it is 4th down.
Fourth down.
This is about the spot on the field that you would typically go for it, around midfield, especially when you're in striking distance. The clock actually got reset again, guys. They bumped it back up, so now it currently reads 2:04
But
to go in the
they
second
don't have
quarter.
the down and distance right because they have it at 4th and 10. It is not. I would have to disagree with you on the field position, Tom. Not at this, not with 2 minutes on the clock, not from the 50. Maybe if they were at the PD 40, I might go along with it on a 3rd and what looks to be about 5 yards, maybe 6 for a 1st down.
Quarterback still on the field, Chief.
Well, let's see if they elect to try to pin NYPD deep or go for it.
I wouldn't doubt FD tries a hard count here, maybe draw him off sides.
I was thinking the same thing, Mike.
So, scoreboard now reads 3rd down and 5 at the 2-minute warning.
Oh, 3rd down. Okay. You
That's
know
what the scoreboard
that
reads.
was the problem.
Fans, disregard the last minute of conversation.
Scoreboard
Strike
was
that
wrong.
from the record. The scorekeeper is not on his game right now, Tom. All right, 3rd and 5 makes that all of that academic, and we're going to go and see what they do here to try and pick it up and keep the drive going. They moved it down to the 2-minute warning. Fire department with their 2 timeouts. And let's see.
5.
Vomero and Ortega split to the left. LaMachia and Imperato to the right. And Holiday in the backfield. Looks like number 83 might have jumped for the fire department, Tom Slane.
That will cost FDNY 5 yards and push them back inside their own 40.
These are the little things, the plays that make a difference along the way that you think about and you say, oh my gosh, if only we hadn't done that. But you have to have a short memory. You got to put it behind you. So 3rd and 10 instead of 3rd and 5.
Those little plays come back to haunt you sometimes, Chief.
Looks like the same alignment. Twins to the right and left. Holiday in the backfield. Davin looking right, throwing right. He had Vomero, but he could. No, I'm sorry. That was number 29. Kofi Aduse. We haven't heard his name yet. And we might not again if he drops balls like that one. He had room to run and didn't come up with it. So that brings up a 4th down. And obviously Garrity is going to punt it away. Police department with plenty of time and 2 timeouts to go with 1:54 on the clock.
Frank Smith will set up to return the punt around his own 15-yard line. So the NYPD should have about a minute 40, minute 45.
Plenty of time. Nice kick by Garrity. Let's see if they could get a favorable bounce. Chooses to field it. Not much of a coverage there. He had a lot of space between him and the first man, and now he's turning it upfield.
On the outside.
Nice play. Nice play.
So Smith gets planted at around his 38-yard line. So Tyler Ryan will return to the gridiron for NYPD. 1:36 to go in this first half. With New York's finest on top, 14-7 over New York's bravest. The NYPD versus the FDNY 2018 Fun City Bowl. A lot at stake here to reset the storyline of this game here for these 2 teams. The 46th meeting overall. NYPD leads the series 30-15, and the winner will advance to the national championship game.
Fire department, the defending champions, looking to go back and defend the title. NYPD looking to rip it away from them.
So Ryan has 3 receivers, 1 man in motion. As Ryan takes the snap from the shotgun, fires, caught by Donato as he is slammed immediately at about the 30 by the FDNY. Clock running under a minute 30.
Beautiful coverage there. They had all kinds of people around. Christian Malera, number 2, was able to make the tackle. They're going to the hurry-up offense.
Hurry-up offense as Ryan, shotgun formation, twins to each side, to his left and to his right. He takes the snap. He looks right, throws right as he's looking for his receiver. Incomplete, overthrown, intended for number 80.
Coverage there.
And that is Rakeem Farrow, his tight end, who we have not called his name yet up until now. Bring up 3rd down and long.
Fire department might think about taking a timeout. Clock, oh, never mind. The clock stopped on the incompletion. My mistake. If they could turn it over on downs here, the fire department would still have about 50 seconds to work with. That's all depending on this play, 3rd and 12.
1:04 to go in the half. 3rd down and 12 for NYPD. They've been pretty good at converting for the most part thus far. 4 receivers in the game. Trips to Ryan's right, 1 man to his left. That's Donato. Ryan, shotgun formation, takes a few steps back. It's a screen. It's caught by Ramirez, looking for some daylight. And he's tripped up by FDNY.
Number 5, John Ring, spilled him just before he could turn it upfield. And good thing that he did, because there was a little bit of open space there. The people were bunched up. If he was able to turn it upfield, he might have picked it up. Brings up a 4th down, and the fire department will have a chance, although, strangely, they're not using those timeouts, leaving them on the clock. That clock is running. Finally, someone took a timeout.
There's 36.7 seconds to go at the half as Sheridan is on to punt as there is a stoppage of play.
Big hit there, Chief. I think that was a total sinus cleanse on that hit.
As now the official calls for the clock to start running again, and no clue what's going on with the scoreboard. If you're watching, don't look at the scoreboard. It currently reads 1 minute. We know that's wrong. As Sheridan gets set to punt on 4th down.
LaMachia back deep for the fire department. Give him a shot at a return.
Sheridan, as the punt is on its way.
Short kick. He's
Short
going to field
kick
it.
fielded by LaMachia
Let's
as
see,
he
can he
sheds
turn the
one
outside?
tackle,
Nope.
trying to get past another,
No.
and he's slammed down by NYPD. And for NYPD, it looked like that was number 27 for New York's finest. And that was, get a hold on that in just a moment, Demetrius Starling.
Nice hit by Starling. Mike, what do you do here? Do you take a knee and talk it over in the locker room, or do you try to do something here with 50 seconds left and 2 timeouts?
You know what, Chief? These guys, they look pretty fresh still for the smaller guys. I think you just go right at them, you know. I think you just bite down on the mouthpiece and try to score points.
Haven't seen Davin really throw a deep ball yet, Tom.
No.
Seen a lot of stuff over the middle, a lot of stuff out into the flats. Nothing deep yet. Might want to try to stretch him out here and just see what happens. 1st and 10, he has Holiday in the backfield. Ortega and Vomero split to the left.
He's passing. He's going
gonna
deep
throw
here.
it.
He's going deep.
He has a man.
He got him.
Oh!
And the catch.
Complete to Imperato.
Timeout.
And the clock is ticking. No timeout yet.
And I'll take a timeout.
They're going to take it up there, and somebody's taking a timeout. Everyone, oh no, they're going to keep it going.
Spike it.
Clock is running. They're wasting an awful lot of time here.
Yeah.
Twins left and right. Holiday in the backfield, protection, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. But my gosh, what a waste of clock time that was. With 2 timeouts to use, that's inexplicable.
Yep. Just 19 seconds remain, Phil and Mike, as FDNY still has a little bit to go if they want to get into field goal range.
I think he should have took a timeout there and gave his men a little rest and set a couple of plays, right, Chief?
Absolutely.
Wasted a lot of time on that.
That I would say there should be at least another 10 seconds up on that clock that is not there and was squandered.
And that could be 2 plays, Chief, right?
Absolutely. They're going to have to do it quick. They're going to have they definitely have time to get in field goal range with 2 timeouts. Vomero and Ortega split left. And the throw, Holiday blocking, has his man. Oh, and a sensational play. Number 13, Frank Smith batted that ball away. He had his man open. That was Ortega.
Big play
and
there.
Smith came across and broke it up. Very, very nice coverage.
He's had a solid game so far. I'm a little surprised FDNY not attacking Mustafa Young. He's been prone to giving up the big play thus far for NYPD. So that big play by Ortega, the catch and run earlier, they picked on him a little bit.
They haven't gone back to him, though.
No.
Maybe they're saving that one in abeyance right now, Tom.
Yeah, keeping them hiding. That was some play by defensive back there.
Anyway, 13 seconds to go. And the fire department, it's 2nd and 8. Not thinking about first downs here, more or less thinking of setting up a field goal. Davin looking to his right, got rid of it, but was not able to get it to his intended receiver, number 80, Mike Imperato. 2 seconds to go. I don't understand this for the life of me. I don't know who's making the timing mistakes here, if it's the fire department with the timeouts or the scorekeeper with the clock. What do we have here? 3rd and 8. It says 2 seconds on the clock, but I'm highly skeptical after what I've seen this half, Tom.
It's Pete Lazar on that previous play, Phil, getting into the face of Davin again, as Davin had to just throw that one into the ground.
That was good that he got rid of it. And
4th and 8.
Take the loss.
Here comes the Hail Mary.
This is it.
Twin trips to the left, single receiver to the right is Imperato. LaMachia, Ortega, and Vomero left. Davin looking left. He has Vomero.
Got a guy in the corner.
Vomero. He almost came down with it, but it was batted away. And if the clock is correct, that's the end of the first half. And that appears not to be the case, as I see special teams coming on the field.
Penalty on that play?
As let's see, the 2 teams are currently being stalled, still on the field. As now the teams are being ushered back to the sidelines.
What do we have here? Smith made that play that batted the ball away at the last moment from Vomero. I don't think he would have been able to get into the end zone, Tom. It looked like Smith had position on him, and even if he came down with it, he would have been able to shove him out of bounds.
As that will do it for the first half, guys. At halftime, NYPD leads the FDNY 14-7. Guys, any final thoughts before we go to a break?
I'll tell you, that was bad play calling there. They lost a lot of time on the clock, FD. They wasted about at least 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Could have been 2 plays, could have changed it.
All right, we will step aside for a few minutes. When we return, stay tuned for second half coverage of the 2018 Fun City Bowl between New York's finest and New York's bravest.
From the 34-yard line.
Ricketts on the tackle there, Tommy.
Yeah.
He's having a good game, too.
They're moving methodically, but NYPD, very rarely have you seen them miss a tackle today. A lot of off-balance tackles, players crashing to the floor, but they're still able to grab Holiday Ortega by the shoestrings, whoever it is.
Yeah, one of those times you miss it, though, Tom.
Yeah.
And that's what you don't want to happen. But right now it is what it is. Holiday alone in the backfield. Ortega and Vomero split left. LaMacchia to the right with Tom Sola, the big tight end, to throw.
Been picked off there. Picked off.
Oh, my goodness. For real?
I wouldn't doubt it was Healy or Ricketts. Let's see.
Looked like Ricketts from here.
Unbelievable game. They're having a great game. I would have stayed away from them, too.
So that's the second interception for Davin.
Well, I think we could say Davin has thrown twice as many interceptions here as he has all year. Came into the game having thrown none.
Yeah. He's really been off his game, this NYPD defense. You know, they're giving him the short routes, but whenever he tries to throw the ball over 15 yards downfield, he's not having any success. You got to find a way to create some separation. The timing of these routes, very disruptive to the secondary of NYPD.
I'll tell you, it seems like Healy and Ricketts are playing man-to-man on these guys, and they got their number.
Ryan takes the snap, rolls right, looking for his receiver. Good coverage downfield, but he throws. And
another interception. Oh,
Picked off by number 5, John Ring, and the fire department is in business inside the 20-yard line. And wow, Tom, that was huge.
Looks like shades of last year, Tom.
3 interceptions on the day for Tyler Ryan.
And
unbelievable.
I have to say, you know, chalk it up. The FDNY backfield and the defensive side of the ball has really been on their game today.
The inexperience is showing. Remember, Ryan's only in his 4th year. He's just a few years removed from college, high school for that matter, and he's starting in this game. So he has looked shaky in this second half.
Yeah, he's thrown into traffic inexplicably. And again, Tom, it gets back to what I always say. Why do they even throw it? In any case, to the left, Vomero. With him is Imparata, LaMacchia, and Ortega on the right. Davin looking right, throwing right. He has his man. And that is LaMacchia once again. LaMacchia picked up about 6. And the fire department has it at about the, let's see where they spot the ball.
Looks like they're going to spot him at the
19.
Chief, look at the flag out. I think the wind may help the fire department here. It's blowing out, blowing their way.
Well, Tom, Mike, they are definitely looking for 7 and not 3 here, but you are right. I see
Still a lot of time on the clock, Chief.
Yep. The wind is blowing out towards the ocean, oddly enough.
Shades of last year happening here, Chief. LaMacchia again. And remember the field goal kicker last year.
Vomero and Ortega split left. LaMacchia to the right. Holiday in the slot. Snap. Ball is given to Holiday. He stumbles forward and rolls on his back. He may have been able to pick up about a yard, maybe 2.
Again, nice penetration by David Johnson on that defensive line. And the win is officially, you can now say, picking up.
And it is blowing in the face of the NYPD, I might add. So that's a fortuitous turn of climactic events, Tom. If you're a fire department fan, that is.
As the field goal posts are blowing.
Okay. Davin brings him up. However, it is third down. Ortega and Vomero split left. Lamacchia right. Holiday in the backfield. Davin looking left, throwing. He has a man open. And touchdown, Fire Department! Ortega came down with an absolutely beautiful throw by Davin, and the Fire Department in a position to throw at the extra point upcoming.
It looks like a PD player is down on the field. They're waving for the trainers.
I'm not sure who that is, but an excellent catch by Ortega. That's the second touchdown pass of the game by Davin, the first by Ortega. So him and Vomero have the 2 touchdowns for FDNY, who is now 1 point away from tying this game.
Tom, what a throw by Davin. You talk about pitch perfect throw, threading the needle. Wow.
Yeah. As a couple of players taking a knee right now. Not a good sign if you're NYPD. The secondary, who's played so well today, as it looks like it's Frank Smith, number 13, who's also a factor on special teams returning punts. So that's a huge injury for NYPD.
Don't like to see anybody get injured, but the NYPD certainly don't want to lose Frank Smith. He's up under his own power. However, his arms are draped over 2 people who are carrying him off the field.
Yep.
And
trainers there.
That is definitely not what they wanted to see at this late stage.
Yeah. So far, that seems to be the only injured player in this game today. And, you never like to see a player get hurt. And he's seems like he's nursing his ankle.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's only a sprain.
Big extra point to come. Again, like you pointed out, Mike, the wind is blowing out towards the ocean. Who's kicking it?
Looks like Garrity, as usual.
Okay. Very good. Garrity is going to kick it.
Looks like he's walking on that
On
foot.
the hold, number 81, Tom Herrick. And let's see if they can tie it up here. Kick is up, and it is good.
Plenty of wind on that one. Plenty of wind.
And we have a flag. I think we're going to have a roughing the kicker here tacked on the ensuing kickoff.
Oh, boy, we got shades of last year happening here, Chief.
Let's see what happened.
Miscues continue.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, and that could be costly.
Yeah, let's see who it's on.
Well, it isn't on the fire department.
It looks, well, the player, it looks like it might be Dave Lawrence.
Yeah. He's trying to plead his case to no avail. That's an argument you're not going to win.
So FDNY will kick off. Garrity set to kick off for NYPD. The game is now tied.
Wow.
Score tied at 14, 10:37 to go in regulation.
This one has been entertaining, Tom, I have to say.
Yes, absolutely. As back deep for NYPD, Aaron Garrett and Nick Ramirez, 2 of the backs for New York's finest, will receive the kick from Garrity. And
he's got the wind at his
it's
back.
Not going to be Garrity. It's going to be Fernando Rodriguez kicking it off for whatever reason.
He's got the wind at his back, so I'm sure he's going to just be a touchback. Heavy wind blowing.
as the kick is off and goes into the end zone, and that will be taken for a touchback. So the wind is blowing very heavy right now. NYPD, they will take over.
With 10:37 to go, this one has been entertaining every step of the way. And it looks like we're set up for another exciting finish.
So NYPD will take over at their own 25. Tyler Ryan now with 3 interceptions on the day. Returns to the gridiron.
Tom, we said at the half that it was going to come down to whether or not the fire department could make some adjustments and force pressure on Ryan or force him to make mistakes. They've been able to do that, and they've drawn even here with about 10 minutes to go in the game.
Ryan in a shotgun set, trips to his left, back to his right as they hand off. Looks like Starling gets that handoff as he gets ahead for about 5 or 6 yards as he crosses the 30 to the 31, gain of 6.
Nice second effort on that, Tom.
Jacobs and Edel plowing the way in front of him. Dollison on the tackle.
You wonder if this win's going to have play in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Real quick, housekeeping note here. The fire department 50-50 split club goes to Joshua Zarbo. He is our winner. So Joshua, if you're out there watching, you have won. Let's get back to the game.
Under 10 minutes to go. Ryan in the shotgun takes the snap, handoff. Starling, huge hole on his left side, makes one man miss. He's still going. He's still going, and he's finally brought down by 2 FDNY defenders as Starling, a big gain.
You know, it's interesting, not one of them went for the ball there.
Starling was able to put the big juke on number 24, Sal Ferroli, who missed him and got him into open space as a result. Good pickup by the PD.
They got to try and strip that ball away from
As big as that run was, only a gain of about 9 or 10 yards. Shotgun formation, trips to each side for Ryan. 9.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Another handoff to Starling. Running on his right side as he gets it to about midfield for a gain of 4. And a NYPD offensive lineman limping off the field. That's number 75, big Shane Jacobs.
Shep, they're taking your advice. Big number 98, Brian Wilson, made the tackle and had his hands on the ball. Wasn't able to jar it loose, however. And we are set up at about a 2nd and 7 from the looks of things.
So Tom, I wonder if anybody's keeping an eye on the clock.
Yeah.
Is the clock correct?
Looks like it is. Under 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The handoff looks like might be Harper this time on the run.
Stopped. Big stop.
That was Enoch Thomas, actually. Pardon me. As he stopped, and he gets the ball to about the 45-yard line.
Sean Duncan on the stop with help from Sam Murray. Sets
Nice
up a big
stuff.
3rd down.
Stuffed the hole nice there.
So 3rd and 2 for NYPD. They've struggled on 3rd downs in the second half. The inability to move the football. Clock is running under 8.5 to go. Ryan, shotgun set. Thomas to his right, twins to each side. He takes the snap.
passing.
Ryan looks to his left.
No
as
good.
Donato turns around late. The pass sailed out of bounds, and pressure brought from FDNY. Looked like Stephen Famolari.
Anthony Phipps and John Ring on the coverage. They had him pretty well blanketed. And the PD will punt it away.
They'll be kicking into the wind now, Chief.
That's right. So Mike Sheridan returns the punt. With 8:06 to go in the fourth quarter, we are tied here in Coney Island, 14-14.
Let's see if they try a hard count here.
Sean Driscoll back deep to return the punt. It's 4th down and 2. Keep in mind, Sheridan, the boot, has a decent punt, as
Out of bounds,
sailed
at
out of
the
bounds.
13.
Let's see where
See
they
where
mark it. As the back judge is going to mark it at the 14. So about a 32-yard punt for Sheridan.
Chief, I'm interested if they put the ball in the air here with this wind at their back, go for the deep pass, or do they run the ball, try to control the clock?
I think they see if they can get a few yards on the ground first to set themselves up, maybe try something over the middle and mid-range, and then maybe strike for a big throw if they see the opportunity and the matchup that they want. The key here, Tom, and I'm sure you'll agree, is not to make a mistake in this part of the field.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. They can't make any mistakes here, both sides.
Get the ball out of your own 20, at least.
I'll tell you, great game here. It's a great game today. Both sides are showing a lot of energy.
Holiday, the single back. Vomero split left.
Blitz,
Davin
blitz.
looking left. Fakes, throws, and overthrew it. Vomero couldn't get behind the coverage of number 13 for the NYPD.
Frank Smith, who, by the way, is back in the game, which is a good sign for NYPD, back at full strength in the secondary with Lawrence, Healy, Smith, and Ricketts, who, by the way, all 4 have played a great game today.
Great game. Tight coverage on that play, too, for a guy that went out with an ankle injury earlier in the game.
Yep.
Looked like Davin overthrew it, and Vomero kind of quit on the route, too.
Yeah. Looked like he couldn't break it to the inside. He had him, Ricketts had him on the inside. He couldn't get around him.
Vomero split by himself out to the left. Trips on the right with Sola in motion going to the left. Ortega and LaMachia. They keep it on the ground to Steve Holiday. And Steve has been steady, if not spectacular today, picking up about 3.
Got a good spot there on that ball.
It's going to bring up 3rd down, though, and like you brought up, FDNY trying to move north from their own, inside their own 20.
Again, at this stage of the game and at this particular spot on the field, you take what the defense gives you. Don't throw anything into traffic for sure.
Yeah, you don't want to make a mistake here, Chief.
No, and if you get the right matchup, maybe you try for something deep. Even if it's intercepted, it's more or less like a punt.
Correct, Chief, correct. You want to go deep here. You don't want to go anything
And
short.
we'll see. Davin has his man.
And it looks like he got the 1st down. And then some.
Wow, Vomero is having a ball game, Tom, and for whatever reason, the PD cannot stop him.
Nice stop by number 15. Was good coverage, but well-thrown ball.
Vomero at least 7 catches today on the game, and he moves the chains. These are the type of routes that FDNY is excelling on, those short intermediate routes to move the chains, and Vomero, job well done there.
Tommy Healy's keeping them passes up in front of him. Nobody's getting behind him. He's making the big tackles, so they're only getting the short ones.
Yep.
Vomero and Ortega split to the left. LaMachia by himself on the right. Solis in the slot. In motion is Ortega. Look like a busted play. Davin moving to his left. No good.
Stop. Nice.
Stopped by big number 97 for the police department.
Yeah, David Johnson.
And that looked like a busted play.
Looks like that will be ruled as a sack.
As it should.
That's 4 on the day now for NYPD.
Well, we said the offensive line of the fire department was a question mark coming in. I would say they've done a fair job. Davin has not been under particular pressure. And let's see what they do here on 3rd down. Correction, 2nd down. Vomero and Sola in the slot. Big Mike Solitsky in the backfield to protect, and
Blitz,
Ortega to the right.
Blitz,
The
coming
blitz,
with the
they
blitz.
pick it up.
Throwing it, and he got a pass.
He's got his man. He's got LaMachia.
Still short. I think he's still short.
Oh, he's well short, Mike. Probably about 5 yards short. Bring up about a 3rd and about 5.
All right. Look at the time on the clock, Chief. You got to go here.
I have to say, Tom, the accuracy of Davin today has really been something to behold with these short slant routes.
Yeah. This drive has already logged over 3 minutes, keep in mind. So they are moving the clock just under 5 minutes to go in regulation, and FDNY is now inside their own 40 at the 37.
That's if the clock is right, Tom.
Big question mark. Vomero split wide to the left. Ortega in the slot. LaMachia out wide right. Davin looking, throwing.
Going deep.
Oh! Just over the head of LaMachia, who looked like he had a step on his man.
Yeah.
But the pass was just slightly overthrown.
Yeah. Lawrence with him in stride.
I'm looking at Lamachia. He's showing a little fatigue over there, Chief. He's walking slow, taking the helmet off. He took a bow there. He's working hard today.
Yeah.
FD's got no replacements for these guys, but he's going off now. Interested to see who they bring in.
Well, we're going to punt it away here, Shep. And once again, Connor Garrity.
Oh, boy.
With wind at his back, and he needs a big kick here.
Landsberg just ran off the field at the last second.
Oh, nice kick by
Big
Lamont.
kick, high,
Big
high.
kick by Garrity.
And they get the bounce.
Wow.
Big bounce on it.
Wow, I'd like to see the net on that.
That was a nice high kick.
The 20, kick it from about, wow.
23-yard line.
Got about, I would say, about a 40-yard on the kick. That was nice. That was just what they needed.
Yeah. And average field position at best for NYPD, as they are going against the wind, keep in mind, which it's settled down slightly, but it's still kicking on the field. And let's see if Big Shane Jacobs is back in the game for NYPD. Looks like he is. Number 75, the big man, the right guard, is in the game. Ryan shotgun set. He's got Starling to his left, 3 receivers also to his left, 1 to his right. As Bowen is in the slot, Ryan takes the snap, handoff, Starling. That's what's been working, and he runs right up the gut and right through the FDNY defense. And he's got a
and a flag. Late hit.
Yes, number 15 coming in late when the runner was down. Tom Fernand.
Big mistake.
That was a big, huge mistake. He came down with the WWF-style sonic elbow, and that's not what the fire department needed.
So a gain of 15 for Starling, plus 15 on the penalty.
Big 79 trying to get the crowd into the game here, waving his arms up in the air.
To reset where we are, folks, if you're just joining us on Facebook now, 4:09 to go in regulation time. NYPD and FDNY knotted up at 14 all. The winner will advance to the national championship game.
You wonder if they can get downfield, Tommy, if they try to go for the field goal. The guy was kicking the ball nice earlier. There was no wind, though. Now he's going to have the wind in his face.
So NYPD lurking in field goal range here. They are at their own 48. As Ryan in the shotgun trips to his right, Starling offset to the right. He gets the handoff.
Big pull here.
As Starling looking to get something out of nothing there. Maybe a gain of 2 to about midfield, the 50-yard line. Clock running under 4 minutes to go.
Big Shane Jacobs on the pulling guard there. It was a nice block he put on the outside.
And if I'm NYPD, I'm taking my time here.
Yeah, rest your men.
Trying to not have FDNY get a chance back with the ball.
Well, they're into FDNY territory at the 49, so the clock is their friend for sure.
4 receivers in the game for NYPD. Donato is wide on the near side to Ryan's left, but he hands off to Thomas. Thomas looking to plow his way for about a gain of 3. That should bring up about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
Corralled there by number 58 for the fire department.
As number 58 for FDNY,
Deshaun
Duncan.
I'll tell you,
one of the backup linebackers.
I'll tell you, Chief, you got to give it to this fire department front line here, man.
Yep.
They're working the game, the whole game. I don't see anybody going in and out.
They're hanging in there, Mike.
Thank God the weather got a little cooler here.
Enoch Thomas swaps out of the game with Dwayne Harper, one of the 3rd down backs for NYPD.
There they go, big
trips to
here.
Ryan's right
big
in the
stack.
shotgun formation. 2:45 to go. Ryan handoff to Harper.
Oh, and they got
nice
him behind
tackle.
the line.
Nice
that was
tackle.
Big.
Not much cooking there as he stopped around the 45, a gain of 1 at most. That will bring up 4th down and the punt team for NYPD.
Phipps and Hoey with help from some other players on the fire department, and they took him down behind the line. Perhaps the biggest defensive play of the game. And I would say if they didn't lose any yards, they might have been in 4 down territory, but now they're going to punt it away. That was a huge stop, Tom.
Sheridan on to kick for NYPD. Sheridan's been on the field often in this second half.
Ooh, I thought I saw movement on the
Sheridan
PD line.
with the boot. It's a short punt again that takes a
Oh,
favor.
takes a nice bounce
will
for
be
them.
able to down it.
Oh!
It's a touchback.
Oh, my goodness.
So the wind, surprisingly, NYPD going against. The ball bounces into the end zone, so FDNY will take over at their own 25.
James Ingram with a nice press trying to get that ball out on the 1-yard line.
Oh, my gosh. He laid out, but just took a jump on him that he wasn't expecting.
Yeah, that was taking a nice.
I don't know, Tom. Has there ever been overtime? There never was during my career. I don't recall any of these games going to overtime.
Just 1:52 left, and we are tied, Phil.
Let's see the drive here, boys. This could be the end here, or we can go into overtime.
Well, let's see if they play for overtime or they try to take a big chance. They haven't done much taking shots downfield. They have the wind at their back. Let's see.
I seen him kicking at least 35-yard field goals earlier with no wind. So with the wind, Chief, he could probably hit a 45.
Well, both teams have 3 timeouts, so obviously the PD will not be taking any. Fire department brings it out there on the 20-yard line. They'll go with a similar set. They'll have Ortega in the slot, Vimera out wide left, Sola in the slot, the big tight end, and Lamachia. Davin looking, throwing, has Sola, and he lunges ahead.
Nice tackle. Nice tackle.
Sola picked up about 6 on that catch. And they are in the hurry-up offense, but they don't appear to be hurrying up very quickly. Same alignment, Vomero and Ortega in the slot. Big Mike Solitsky protecting. He has his man out to the left side, and they're going to move the sticks. That's Vomero. Tom, they're looking for one more big play over the middle, take a timeout, then try to get 1 or 2 plays to pull them in field goal range with this wind at their back.
As just 1:08 to go. It looks like we have a timeout on the field. I believe FDNY may have taken the timeout.
They look like they can use it, Tom.
Yeah.
They're wearing down here, and you wonder, do they have enough to pull it out?
NYPD got out to a 7-0 start, the Enoch Thomas touchdown, and then FDNY responded with one of their own by Eric Ortega. Brian Vomero had the first touchdown of the game, and then in the first half, NYPD went up 14-7 with a touchdown from Dwayne Harper had the touchdown, and then in the second half, the only points that we've seen was the one touchdown by Eric Ortega, the nice little slant and go route in the end zone that hoisted up by Davin.
And that one came off a turnover, Tom,
That's
after
how we're
the
here
interception.
At 14.
And like we said, if the fire department had a chance of hanging in there, they had to create some turnovers, and they've been able to do that here in the second half. 1:08 to go, 3 timeouts remaining for the fire department. Let's see what they're able to do here. I'm sure they want to give Garrity a crack at this if they can. I don't see them kneeling on it and playing for overtime.
No, I think they want to go for the win, Chief. You know, if they're going to bring the clock all the way down, hopefully they can get some good field position. They're going to go
wide
for it.
left, Ortega in the slot. The throw, Davin has time, has his man, Lamacchia.
Go forward.
Lamacchia takes it out to the 46-yard line. They'll move the chains again, and Davin has the fire department on the move with a chance to win this one in regulation. The clock is moving. 50 to go.
Down it.
I don't think they're going to do that, Mike. I think they called 2 plays. They're going to run this play with 3 timeouts. They have more than enough time. Davin looking left, throwing, has his man again.
Did he pick it off? They picked it off. PD picked it off.
That ball went right through Vomero's hands. He had it, and right behind him into the coverage and making the interception
was Adam Landsberg.
Wow.
So, incredible that Davin now just threw his 3rd interception of the game. So each quarterback now with 3 turnovers of their own, 32 seconds to go. And NYPD, a huge opportunity for them here. After losing last year's game, this drive will definitely mean a lot for them, and FDNY as well, looking to keep NYPD out of field goal range. But keep in mind, NYPD would be kicking into the wind against it. So
we said it earlier at the half. Turnovers are going to be the big play in this game, and they have.
Ryan in a shotgun set. Tyler Ryan takes the snap. Couple steps back as he throws, and he finds his receiver.
Tight coverage, nice. He threaded the needle on that one.
That was Nick Pastore, number 14. He crosses midfield. Clock running, 20 seconds to go. They got to move. Will they down it? The clock is now under 20 seconds. We've reached 15. NYPD.
What the heck is going on?
No clue what's going on. The clock is now stopped at 16.4.
What?
Ryan, shotgun formation as he throws.
Out of bounds.
Out of the reach of Donato. I'm assuming they may have stopped the clock since they got a first down?
No.
Could that be right?
Absolutely not.
I don't know. This
Not sure why.
Our timekeeper's having a tough day here, ladies and gentlemen.
So according to the clock, there is 12.2 seconds left. Definitely not correct, but we will go with that anyway.
Tom, you mentioned that Davin had thrown interception number 3.
Yeah.
I don't give Davin the fault on that one. That ball went right through Vomero's hands.
Yeah.
He put that ball on the money, and in fact, may have set them up for a field goal try. Instead, it was intercepted, but it'll go down as an interception for Davin, but it really wasn't.
So they're saying they're trying to reset the time. 27 seconds now. Ryan takes the snap out of the shotgun. He looks
deep.
Going deep.
He has a man.
And Nick Pastore.
And it's picked off again. No.
Incomplete.
Oh, boy.
Pastore unable to reel it in, and it's broken up again by the FDNY secondary. Phipps was back there along with Dollison as well.
Tight coverage on that play.
He had a step on him, though. They were able to close at the last second. The ball kind of hung up.
I think that wind grabbed it. That wind's going to be a big factor in this game.
3rd and long for NYPD. 18 seconds remain as they are looking to keep the chains moving here, but FDNY very stout on this possession.
3rd and 11.
You know, if not for that wind, I think that ball would have been there for 6.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, he had at least a step
Shotgun
and a half
set
on him.
for Ryan, twins to each side. He takes the snap.
He's going deep again.
As he rolls right, buying some time, throws across the field to D'Elia, who
Out of
unable,
bounds.
right
Oh,
over his
big
head.
hit.
D'Elia unable to make the catch along the sideline, so
big
it will
hit.
be 4th and long with 11.3 seconds, which will bring out the punt team and Mike Sheridan one more time.
Tom, once again, that ball went right through that receiver's hands. He
let
could
it
have come
hang
down
up
with
there,
that.
too.
He's got a shot for a winning field goal here. Wow.
That was hanging up in the air there, Chief, for a while.
Nonetheless, he did have an opportunity to come down with it, and he just let it go right through his hands.
So barring a spectacular turn or a miscue, there's actually an FDNY player down. We'll get to that in just a moment. But like I was saying, barring a miscue or a long return, there will likely be going to overtime. There's an FDNY player down. Phil, do we get a check on that? Number 98, Brian Wilson, it looks like, the nose guard, and that's big.
He's up. He's up.
He's up. He
running off
looks
the
to be
field.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Great to see.
So far, we've been lucky in this game. I haven't seen
Correction.
any-
That was number 58 that was down and is okay. Deshaun Duncan.
Yep. There you go.
Well, 11 seconds to go. PD's going to punt it. I doubt the fire department's going to do very much if this isn't a touchback, and we're going to overtime.
You would think.
Anything can happen here, Chief.
4th and 11. 11 seconds remain. Both sides getting the crowd amped up as it looks like, is NYPD bringing the offense back out? They are.
Why not? Hail Mary.
Yeah. 11 seconds
If
to
I was
go.
the fire department, I'd take a timeout, Tom.
Yeah.
Shotgun
Let
set,
their men
trips
rest,
to
get their
Ryan's
heads
right.
clear.
Donato split wide to the left. Ryan takes the snap, fakes
Going
the
deep.
handoff. He's looking for a screen,
Underneath.
makes the catch.
Oh,
as
oh,
Big
oh,
hit,
oh.
but- oh, and they got him
it
out of
looks
bounds.
like
Oh,
Ramirez
Clock's still running.
went out of
What
bounds.
is this guy doing with the clock?
As FDNY will take over, as FDNY will now have an opportunity for a potential Hail
You
Mary,
got to reset the clock.
as the clock reads 3 seconds, but it looks like at least 2 to 3 more should be tacked back on.
You know, didn't amount to anything, but the defensive back there went up and gave a shoulder tackle. That could have been very costly because there was a lot of open space
You
there.
got to wrap them up. You know that, Chief. You got to wrap them,
Oh, my gosh.
especially at this point of the game.
Yeah.
You don't want to just bump a guy and watch him run down the sideline for a touchdown. You
It's
got to
now-
wrap him up.
The officials having another meeting at midfield.
I would
Perhaps
imagine
the-
it's over the clock.
For all we know, this half may be over. For all we know, there may be 20 seconds on the clock. We don't know.
Yeah.
I think this clock keeper's got money on this game.
See Pete Lazar down on the sideline for NYPD getting checked out. I don't know if you see that around the 35.
Number 25, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Looks like he might have a cramp in the back. You see him stretching
As
out his back.
I believe we just got a ruling.
Yeah, the half is over. The
Believe-
game's over. We're going to go to overtime.
We are heading to overtime. So New York's finest, New York's bravest, tied at 14 at the end of regulation, guys.
We're going college-style overtime here, Tom. We're not playing another quarter of football here. Each team will possess the ball, and we're going to see what transpires. First team to score a touch. If the team that has the ball first scores a touchdown, the game's over. If they kick a field goal, the other club will get the ball once. They will either tie it or lose it at that point. If they tie it, we go on and on until somebody comes out ahead.
Now, you guys don't recall the last time this series game went to overtime?
I don't think it ever has.
Oh,
I don't ever recall one in my 26 years on this job.
I thought it was going to
in
happen
my 8
last
years with
year.
the team.
Yeah.
And they came back and kicked the field goal and won the game.
So overtime we go.
Here they are.
As the captains
come out.
approach midfield, we'll find out who
Be
will get
interesting.
the ball first.
Once again, it's Hoey, Davin, Vomero, and looks like Tom Soul out there for the fire department.
And for NYPD, Kevin Healy, Kai Bowen, Enoch Thomas. We also got number 44, Luis Basabe, and number 9, Brian Idens.
Chief, did they get a full set of timeouts, or they still stay at what they used?
I'm not sure about that one, Mike.
Because we can't go by the scoreboard.
My guess would be 2 timeouts for each, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, one team
We're
had
gonna
3
with
timeouts.
We're going to go with Tom's guess here because he does a lot of college games, and we're going college rules. So let's say 2 timeouts for each team, and we're going to see who's going to get the ball first. A lot of teams choose to go on defense first, Tom.
Yeah. A lot of teams like going on the defense so that they know what they have to do once they get the ball, kind of like a mindset.
Well, I wonder, do they get to pick which way they want to take the ball downfield? You want the wind at your back, right, if you're going to get the first pick?
They may. I'm not sure, Tom. Do they just pick an end where they're going to play it, the referees, or?
I believe so.
Okay. Let's see which end they pick. "60 minutes gone by, we've settled nothing."
Yeah.
Almost 2 hours in this game already.
The battle of New York's best, New York's finest continues. Can FDNY win back-to-back games? We'll find out shortly as a coin toss was just decided.
And let's see.
Whoever wins this game, Tom, it's going to be a record game because it'll be the first time going into overtime, right?
Yeah. No indication of who's going to be on offense
to our
first.
knowledge.
Yeah. I don't remember any
as of right now,
since the 80s.
Looks like NYPD will start out with the ball.
Okay.
And FDNY will be on defense.
Tom, I'd look for the NYPD to do a lot of running, particularly with Starlin
Thomas,
who's been very effective running the ball so far.
And Harper, Dwayne Harper has had a good game. He has a touchdown.
And they're going to position the ball this way against the wind, oddly enough.
Wow.
This is for a spot in the championship game on June 23rd.
Don't know what happened in Chicago. I'm pretty sure neither one of these teams cares, Tom. This is what it's all about right now. This is the one they want. The national championship is kind of the cherry on top. This is the game they play for all year.
Ball on the 25.
Ryan in shotgun formation, twins to each side. As he hands it off, looks like Starling again. He crosses the 20, and he gets to about the 18 for a gain of 7.
Brought down on the play by Ring.
The little inside draw handoff has been working for Starling today behind that huge NYPD offensive line. Mo Vogel, Ken McNair, Shane Jacobs. Just a few guys to note. 2nd down and 4, so a gain of 6, Mike. You were right.
If I had to guess, you're not going to see them throw this ball until they absolutely have to.
I wouldn't. With them big boys up front, I'd just drive the ball right into the end zone.
Ryan in shotgun, trips to his right. He hands off against Starling. Jacobs
turning the
pulls for
corner.
nice blocks
Nice
as
play.
Starling
Nice.
gets to about
Big blocks there, Chief. Big blocks.
just past the 13-yard line.
Big number 75 later. Big block for PD.
Also getting out there to block number 7 for the NYPD.
Kai Bowen.
Yes, through
I'll
a
tell
nice
you,
block.
they're in field goal range right now, Tom, I think. If this wind can die down, I think I was watching him early. He was kicking 30-yarders before.
Well, obviously they're in field goal range, but the thing they're trying to do here is get the touchdown.
They want
because
to get
that,
to 7,
that
yes.
puts the fire department in a position of it's touchdown or go home.
Yep.
So you're going to see Starlin and more Starlin here, if I had to guess.
Ryan in the shotgun hands off Starling again, looking for some daylight.
They're going for the ball.
And he is snuffed out by FDNY.
They got to try and strip the ball here, Chief. If they're going to run this ball, the FD's got to try and strip it.
Brought down by Kenny Yost, number 44, with help from his mates.
And we just got word, guys, that the Chicago Police Department enforcers have won.
They have the Western Conference Championship.
So
okay.
Whoever wins here is going to play Chicago.
Yes.
Not sure where the game's being held this year. Last year it was here. Fire department won the game. I'm not sure how that works, what the league rules are on who hosts and who visits. I don't know if they alternate,
Right. Yeah.
East and West. I'm not sure.
So 2nd down and 14. It'll be really interesting to see with Enoch Thomas on the field right now what NYPD elects to do. Looks like they may throw it here.
May fake the run. And
2nd and long. Ryan
throwing.
takes the snap, finds out of the reach of
tight coverage.
JP Donato. And Donato's been fairly quiet today, guys. Unable to get him involved. Excellent coverage there by Anthony Phipps.
Nice coverage by him.
So
3rd and 12.
The plot thickens.
Yeah.
You got to wonder how fatigued both of these teams are right now.
Yeah.
Well, now you can safely say, guys, they are going to throw the ball. So let's see. And we're getting back to it again. He has had time all day long, with the exception of a few times he got pressured.
So one of the 3rd down backs, number 22, Nick Ramirez, checks into the game. Enoch Thomas will check out. 4 receivers in the game with the tight end and the back. Ryan takes the snap. He is
going
looking
in the
throws
corner.
Deep
In the
into
corner,
the
he's
end
got
zone.
him.
It's caught.
Touchdown,
PD. It's caught for a touchdown by Frank D'Elia.
Nice catch.
And NYPD has won.
No, they have not.
Nope.
Almost.
FD gets possession. What a throw. Perfect time pass.
Absolutely, and he managed to find some space in the corner.
It was tight coverage, too, but he had to jump on him. He looked like he had him by 2 steps.
He was closing on him at the end, but not quick enough. Perfectly thrown ball by Ryan. And fire department is either going to score or a touchdown or go home after this. Let's see.
Here.
Sheridan
kicking
on for
into
the extra
wind,
point.
heavy wind coming in.
Low snap, bobbled, line drive, goes through the uprights. My mistake. I'm thinking touchdown wins the game, but not on the college level.
No.
So
if they
now,
don't score here,
FDNY needs a touchdown.
PD wins. Otherwise, you're going to another overtime.
If this were a tennis match, advantage PD.
Yeah. See, we don't have the rule book in front of us here, so we got to go base it off our own knowledge. And NYPD, as they have not tacked on the extra point yet on the scoreboard.
He made it.
I'm interested.
As I'm very intrigued. To me,
the scoreboard.
Wow, this guy is a disaster.
This scoreboard's been a disaster. Now I'm interested. Do they have 3 timeouts? PD, there it goes. He just changed it.
No,
and fire department 2.
Yeah, he's messing it up. All right, here we go. Let's see what's going to happen here. Ortega in the slot. Vomero out wide to the left. Lamacchia wide to the right. And Imparata in the slot on the right. Davin barking out the signals. Holiday
going
protecting.
Deep. Picked off. Game over. PD wins.
This one's
interception.
Over. Wow.
What a game.
Mustafa Young with the game-winning interception.
Excellent game.
What a game.
I'll tell you, Tommy, you know what? This is the way you want it to end. Right, Chief?
Well, you know what, Mike?
I mean,
well-deserved victory by the NYPD.
They earned it. They earned it.
Yes.
And you know what? My hat off. I take my hat off to the FD because they did it with a lot less players. They didn't have the rotations PD had, and I think it was key.
Well, Mike, they went in as a defending champs, so fact is they're bitterly disappointed, but certainly, Tom, they have nothing to hang their heads about. They gave an outstanding effort today.
Unbelievable.
Great game by both teams. Look, despite the 7 turnovers, it was a great game. And majority of those came into the second half. Unfortunately, Davin threw his 4th interception that won the game for NYPD. So defense really came into the clutch.
I'll tell you, Ricketts and the 2 captains stepped up today.
Healy.
Ricketts and Mark Ricketts and Healy, they had an unbelievable game.
Kevin
they played
Healy.
heads-up ball. They went to the fundamentals. They stayed at home. They watched. They waited.
Right.
They read the play, and
they
came
made
up.
their tackles when
and
they had
made,
to.
They made almost all the tackles of the game.
Yeah. So
2 players.
NYPD improves to 4-0 in league play. They will advance to the championship game June 23rd. They will take on the the Chicago PD Enforcers. And the season for FDNY has come to an end tonight. But a great game, guys.
Unbelievable.
Any final thoughts on this game?
I would just say the fire department has to be bitterly disappointed, obviously, but you know what? This one was like we said. This was a slugfest. It went back and forth, and you know what? Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. Today, the NYPD was just a little bit better over the course of 4 quarters and a few minutes. So hats off to them, and I wish them well going into the national championship. If we can't win it, I sure hope they could.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I hope PD goes into Chicago with the same attitude and the same playing style, and take it to Chicago and win the big one. This way, you know, the fire department can say, hey, at least we lost to the champs.
Right. So NYPD, after losing last year's game to FDNY, comes back with a 21-14 win this season, and they will advance to play the Chicago PD Enforcers on June 23rd. And I'd like to thank you all for watching our Facebook live stream today, and Pug Life, our live video streaming, Pug Life Chronicles, right back here behind us, if you get a look at that. Phil, Mike, it was a pleasure calling the game with you guys.
Pleasure was all mine, Tom. You know what? We saw a good one here today.
Yes, indeed. I'd like to thank the chief for having me here, and nice meeting you, Tommy, and hopefully we could do it again next year.
Yeah. One final time, we'd like to thank all the viewers and everyone watching our Facebook live stream tonight. On behalf of our producers, directors, and Phil Tofano and Mike Shepard, great calling the game with you guys. The final score, the NYPD 21, the FDNY 14. Good night, everyone.